I believe they do. They go. We can talk about ramen. We can have 3 hour. I'm hungry now. Let's not talk about ramen. Let's talk about Age of Ashes. Don't look at my bed. There's a lot of stuff on my bed. It's gross. I won't say new apartment. Who dis? I'll say have moved around a lot. Who dis? But welcome hello Achilles. Well, welcome my friends to Age of Ashes. We unfortunately Achilles says hello because I'm talking. You know I've started recording. Yeah, come here. Headphones. Come here, buddy. Do you want to hang out? He's gonna hang out. Bolix's player. He may or may not have had a redundant organ in his system have a big boom, and so due to pain and misery and horribleness, he will not be joining us today. And I was going to take Jadzia out of the art, but well, when the guy whose appendix burst is also your art guy, and your art guy is all strapped in a bed, he can't really help out with a lot of things, which is totally understandable. And Idaho, get back here. We miss you. Don't die on us. Ross will be a little behind again. A very important phone call with top men he must speak to. But in any case, Tiki, Jason, Spellcraft, thank you guys for your loud cat and your support on Patreon. We will start the in-character reflection as I see it in Discord with the greenest of us. If the ABCs, if you could, from old Sweet Leaf. And that in-character reflection, of course. Just 1 second. Not that I forget who Calmont is. It's that I realize that OBS isn't picking up. That is correct. OBS is... somebody say something.
Hello.
Hi.
Now OBS is picking up desktop audio. Hooray! We come to a game already in progress. Yes, Calmont is the guy we captured. The guy responsible for the arson. The little halfling man who got goblin dog hunted down.
His treatment was a little harsh. I was quite angry as well because of Jadzia, so I held my tongue. Perhaps it is time to go to him and see if the physical effects of his treatment still linger.
Okay.
Even the accused deserve some mercy, after all. I shouldn't have let my anger cloud my judgment. Being around those that have lost more than simply one friend has helped center me as well as the prayers, so yes, I suppose I shall go visit him and see what I can learn and make sure he's being treated well enough by the standards of the community.
Okay, so we'll say Jadzia is super dead. Jadzia's ghost arrives, and it's heartwarming. Q-Talk arrives at outside where Calmont is being held as Charles, who's now gone very quiet, as well as Anastasia and Ohm are exiting the building.
I would not have killed him.
I
Hearing
understand.
Hearing that out of nowhere is a little disconcerting, friends.
We were trying to extract information out of the murderer. However, my intimidation tactics were less than effective and also displeased Charles to the point where they were ineffective because of his complaining. But anyway, for one, I'm not stupid enough to do anything with the gods there, and for two, I'm not the one that decides the fate of his life. The goblin dog thing was purely because he's a murderer, and I hate that kind of thing.
As do I, but I feel like I let my anger run away with me by condoning this thing even by inaction. Interrogation, well, it can be tricky. This is why such things are normally left to the village elders and the shamans. There are spells that can achieve the desired results in a less traumatic and violent manner.
Yes.
Sadly, I am still early in my training, and do not have access to such things, but
Yes,
shall
but
see what I can do.
when you leave it up to the village elders and constabulary, you do not get the information. I don't care whether the city has the information. I wanted it.
It's always useful to have the information for ourselves. That way we do not have to worry that it gets filtered before we receive it.
Exactly. The little minor details can be what actually kills you in the end.
But that being said, Kyuta, you are going to go speak to him? Perhaps.
That was my intention, yes, but I'm starting to get a slightly worrying picture just from your little comments. What happened?
We asked him what exactly he was looking for in the castle, and we also gave him reasons that giving that information to us now would be better for him.
Who did the actual talking?
I did some, Winter did some. We are going to have to discuss relative morality, Charles, but that will happen soon enough.
Why am I getting a mental picture of Koprak in a daycare?
Would you mind speaking in languages that some of us share with you?
Massive rampaging 10-legged polar bears. You do not want them around children or delicate situations.
10-legged polar bears. Sounds like something from Erison.
It isn't the strangest thing that wild fluctuations of magic and the gods have created, but it is up.
But yes, we are going to have to discuss the apparent alignment versus actual chosen course of path. Just because I look like I might kill someone doesn't mean I intend to.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
You said you came from Miss Warble's house?
Yes.
How I can go tinned wounds besides it might be a better idea for me not to go back in there. Because I'm afraid keeping a civil tongue at this point will be difficult.
Also, I was forcibly ejected by the gods.
Yes. And you being a cleric, they will be more than happy to have you minister to the needs of this individual.
Indeed.
And your God is known for mercy as well as justice.
Yes, mercy is often useful when tempering justice, and I have received a reminder that such things are important, and at this she pats her arm a little.
Well, we shall speak with you when you return then. I must find a well.
Well, funny you should mention that. Not very far from the building that was on fire, there is a sizable fountain. Probably about a couple 100 feet off.
Then I would be heading that direction.
Okay, cool.
I would also pull out one of my few remaining silver pieces.
Okay, sure. And Ulm goes to the House of Bumblebrasher, which Bollix is at too, and I wasn't picking up desktop audio for the first little bit, so Idaho had his pancreas. That's having your pancreas out is basically what I am. He had his appendix out, and he's in the hospital, and so he's not here with us right now, but we love him anyway, and Ross will be here, and Cube Talk heads into the prison then.
Yes.
Okay. The guards
Yes.
see you. The guards raise eyebrows, but little else. Calmont has taken to sulking with his back to a corner inside his
I
cell.
I was filled in on the impression my friends made. It was not done with my agreement, but there is only so much I can do to rein in people that I'm still forming bonds with. You have my deepest apologies, and she bows softly. None of
Alrighty.
this is sarcastic.
Okay, fair enough. I forget if Calmont was Irish or the bad Cockney voice. I'll just go with whichever one first comes out. He just well,
I'll
first
go
things
with the
first.
bad Cockney voice.
All right, fair enough. He's kind of roguish in things. What? Give me a diplomacy check.
All right.
As Anastasia Winter readies her notes. Okay, that is an exact success. He looks
You
up and
have
just,
my sincere apologies for the way you were treated as you were drug in. I was not in a good place, and as a woman of the cloth and a bearer of Saren Ray's light, I should have said something. And at that, I asked one of the guards if I can be let in to double check him over, because even though it might have felt good emotionally to see him roughed up, it is still a gross violation of what I and my people stand for.
okay, yeah, the guards let you in, and Calmont just kind of looks and says nothing. He's got some bumps and bruises. Well, actually, more than that, doesn't he? He is very, very, very itchy from being rapidly and egregiously exposed. Not egregiously in a bad sense, but 1+1 is 2. He's been on a goblin dog for a while, so he's a very, very itchy fella.
I used prestidigitation to clean the lingering filth and things like that, and the contents of the healer's kit to soothe the worst of everything. I am
Okay.
very sorry. You might want to remove your tunic and everything for this. You may leave your small clothes on. I have no desire to demean you any further, but this will help treat you.
Okay. He looks a little better, but it's still like, as he tries to like shake it off, he's still mostly just scratching. Well, thank you, I guess. The guards shut the door behind you, and they're both just kind of standing there, expecting something bad to happen.
I cleanse his clothes and his small clothes using prestidigitation, and I indicate that he can now dress. The fact that his clothes have been thoroughly cleaned with magic, as have his underclothes, should be doing a great deal to speed up his recovery. And I will also make a medicine check to make sure that I am handling things properly.
Okay, sounds good. Good enough. Yeah, the clothes are purged of any remaining dander.
Mm-hmm. And I use prestidigitation to clean him as well, so everything should be fading relatively quickly.
Okay.
At
Well,
least
I appreciate
what I'm...
that. Clothes.
Yes.
He picks them up and clothes. I smell this good since I bought them. And he leans in and just. I appreciate it more if Ross designed didn't just enter the Discord while I was talking. I hear a bopping real loud. And I assume it's him.
My
Hi, Ross.
apologies. I thought you would have had streaming mode on, so that way that sort of stuff doesn't bother you.
It doesn't. The Bing is nothing. The Bing
Oh.
is everything. All hail the Bing. Nah, it's streamer
My
mode. I
apologies
guess I could
again.
turn on streamer mode now since I'm just DI. But well, thank you for cleaning my clothes. They ain't smelled this good since I bought them. And he leans in and yeah. Won't you help me get out of this place? We both know this town's full of a bunch of words I shouldn't say in front of a woman of the cloth.
It does seem like they were easily flustered. They might have had their town hall intact had they been less so. Fire is not something I have had to deal with very much. Normally we have slightly better protections against that sort of thing.
Of course. He sits down, like, he like leaning on the wall again, sitting down and whoosh with his hands. Well, how else was I supposed to stop that stupid council from sending, and he air quotes real hard, heroes up the Hell Knight Hill?
It is a bit late for that, but at least you're not very much worse for wear.
He nods.
Out of character, I'm trying to pick my words very carefully here because I don't think she's ever had to do the good cop, bad cop routine or any sort of interrogation.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, do you need anything else? Or okay, I'll go back to more thrilling, exciting, adventure-filled day.
I might be able to arrange for you some reading material or something to take your mind off things.
Fair
It's not
enough.
like such things are very dangerous outside the hands of a wizard or geomancer.
He nods. I wouldn't say no.
What was so important up there? The goblins hadn't seemed like they'd been presenting any problems for anybody.
Give me a diplomacy check.
All right. One thing I want to add to that statement before I make the diplomacy check. I know this town seems like it can be a little stifling and people here can lose their heads, but surely it can't be worth all of this.
Okay.
Yay!
That is a number. Okay, fair enough. As ready, the juggernaut mutagen. Well, between you and me, he leans in again. Those freaks that live up there, them goblins. I know how to get down to the basement down there. Everyone knows I used to live in the basement in El Knight Hill. Those stairs they got blocked when and he pantomimes what looks to be like a big quadruped climbing wooden stairs came down. That can't be the only way down there. And, you know, a rumor has it there's an elf gate down there. You have any idea what someone will pay for information about lost elf gates? A lot. Except no one will tell me how to get downstairs.
That is a pity. Out of character, elf gates are fast travel gates, right?
In character, give me a elf lore or arcana. You have no idea. You hear
Part
the
of me
phrase
is-
gate and you assume it's probably magical, go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not going to use a healer's kit. I mean, a hero point. We actually didn't have many of those where I came from. What are those again? And she's trying to turn on the absolute cute, looking all befuddled and charming.
Okay, that sounds like a deception check then to me.
She's utterly telling the truth. If anything, it's diplomacy. She's just trying to enhance her natural qualities.
Okay, diplomacy then, fair enough.
Or raw charisma, whichever.
Well, but let it be diplomacy. I am feeling generous. There is a cat on my lap who's now being quiet. He just wanted to sit with Dad. And then he tried
And
to
that
bite
would
my
be
hand,
a 16.
which is the exact DC. Yeah, I ain't never heard of Al set his ring. It's only and he pantomimes like a circle. Well, rather not pantomimes, he draws one with 2 fingers. It's only a ring of elf gates connected to places all over the world. You know, elf gates, ain't they got elves up where you from? You know what those are? You're not daft, are you?
No, but the Arctic elves are a little different. My ancestors were a little too busy fighting off ice worms and banding together to survive to make great magical workings.
Of course. Well, between you and me, friend, you realize, of course, how valuable that information is to those richies who want to travel all over Galarion. And he snaps his fingers. I can't snap my fingers, but you guys see me trying my best. The blink of an eye.
Oh, yes. I'd imagine some people would dedicate their lives to the magical arts simply to master teleportation and things like that. I hear you can go quite far once you get strong enough.
He nods.
I'll talk with the temples, I'll talk with the council. Perhaps someone has some adventure novels that wouldn't be too hard to duplicate. Out of character, amanuensis is one of those spells that really should have been carried forward.
I'm not sure I know
And
what
if
that
no-
spell is.
It copies non-magical text.
Mm,
Yeah, it's a cantrip level, just duplicate book.
fair enough. Dang, that's real good.
If nobody has any copies, I'm sure I can pay a scribe to make some. What sort of things do you prefer?
Well, whatever you can get your hands on. As long as I can get out of here and get as far away from Breach Hill as possible, I don't much care.
I don't blame you. Do try not to cause any more trouble. I don't think you'll be as lucky in the future. I've had my luck run out far too many times. At least there are no 10-legged polar bears or lingering, rampaging ice worms around here.
No, that sounds quite terrifying.
Oh yes, a lot of good meat on those 10-legged polar bears, but getting one is quite troublesome. Hopefully the rest of your day will be devoid of stress like it was earlier.
He
Or
nods.
stress like you faced earlier.
He nods.
Thank you for filling me in. I am new to this area. And at that, I nod to the guards and head out. I guess I would go. Ooh, there are some good aligned battle gods in this area, right? The temples.
The temples are Desna, the goddess of travel and the stars and things of that nature.
Oh,
Caden
travel.
Kalian, the god of get drunk and be a hero, basically.
Okay. So
And,
travel logs
Asmodeus.
and heroic epics would probably be available in their archives, so I just have to pay a scribe.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, makes sense to me. Call
I
it
will
like,
go take care of that to do my to fulfill my word.
Okay, makes sense.
And however much time has elapsed, I'll go rejoin the group.
Okay. They will do it for, call it like a silver piece.
Sure.
And really quickly, if the man with the white lion could inform us of his in-character reflection in the ABCs, I'd surely appreciate it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wrong ones? Wrong ones.
Don't sing that. It's copyrighted.
No,
Oh, right, that
I
is.
think the alphabet song is what is the term? The same thing as Happy Birthday. It's existed for 100 years, and so it's
No, happy birthday is still
no,
copyrighted.
No,
It's back.
those-
It's back in the public domain.
Yes,
It is?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Had to have been recently.
Yeah,
Yes.
that must
Within
have
the
been-
last couple of years.
Yeah, fair enough. We all learned something today.
That's interesting. Well, hello. I am Charles. I am the human wizard from Thassalon, and I'm the human wizard from Thassalon. I am a universalist with a focus on familiars. And at least that's been my studies for the most part. That also explains the furry white guy on my shoulder. His name is Leo, little Leo. He's my friend. But as far as it stands, I've come to exploring to this area and just kind of traveling out of my native homelands out of a desire to learn a little bit more about the unique magics that have popped up and the new magical phenomenons that have appeared since apparently the last time I was on time frozen. It is still very weird realizing that I am technically the oldest one in the room even when I am standing amongst elves for the most part. But this is the nature of magic. This is why I never got into time magic and things of the nature. But as it stands, some peculiarly odd incidents have been going on involving goblins in the local area and some strange fellow apparently sending I thought they were imps, but I could be wrong. Some sort of fire creatures to burn down the council hall, and it has been honestly and frankly a mess. Hopefully me and my new friends, I'm going to be positive here and go with friends, can get to the bottom of this before one of us loses our heads.
Good enough. Alrighty, and the group reconvenes as well. Actually, before the group reconvenes, what did Annie want to do at the well? I'm curious.
She comes up to the well, takes out 2 silver pieces, starts to pray over them to Baba Yaga, and then tosses them into the well. Because the act of wishing at a well actually used to be prayers, not wishes.
Okay. Makes sense. How do I want to run this? I'll do this. It only happens for a couple of seconds, and most people don't notice it. You certainly do because you're looking for it. But for the span of maybe, again, like a couple of seconds, it starts to snow directly over the well. It gets, like, the temperature drops from the, like, probably... I know there are people who are international who listen to this. I'm trying to not always speak in Fahrenheit. From, like, warm spring day to winter night in a snap for a couple of seconds as it snows. And a couple of people see it. They don't really think anything of it because magic is funny. And then it goes back to normal.
She smiles, saying, I hope you're well, Baba, and leaves.
Okay. And Ohm has gone to the Bumble Brashers. Did Ohm have anything in specific Ohm wanted to accomplish?
If there are people still injured, I'll do some medical checks. But otherwise, I'm just kind of keeping things down to a dull. There are questions I want to ask, but I don't have that information.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I shall not metagame.
Thou shalt not metagame. First rule. First rule, friends. Okay, fair enough. Bumps and bruises are kind of the only thing that's really left. Everybody's either fine or died horribly in the initial attack. And we'll say everybody reconvenes at, we'll say the Bumble Brasher house, shall we call it.
And this is why I should never trust Leo with my notebook. So, how did all those errands go?
Fine.
They do not sound fine, friend. Are you alright?
We do need to discuss the difference between threatening someone's life and actually intending to kill.
What did I miss this time?
Oh no, we're still talking about the halfling. You need to learn intent versus intimidation.
Well, I think my time with him went well enough. I was able to find a few things out. I don't know if it's everything we were looking for, but it was the most I felt they could press for without pressing my luck and having things end horribly.
Well,
you know, there's an elf gate in the basement.
What? An elf gate. Tommy, would I know what that is?
Arcana or elf lore.
Well, I mean, you would need to roll Arcana for me, I guess. Or are we just...
Yeah, just roll it. It's too much effort for me to have to memorize everyone. I had to do that with one of my players in Carrying Ground. It drove me up a wall. Okay. So
27 from me.
Alm doesn't have any idea, but Charles does, because Charles knows that the elves originally are not from the planet you guys are on. I'll say with that Arcana check, Charles is the one person in the party who realizes, well, no. Maybe. I don't know. That's definitely understood there are other planets in the solar system, but the elves of this setting are from the planet Castrovel, and they originally came to Golarion through what is in their language, an Ayudara, or in common, a literal translation, Elf Gate. It's sitting in the center of their capital in Kyonin, and from there they have spread out. The logic behind the Elf Gates are in the... I'm not sure exactly what plane they exist on in this universe, but ley lines exist. Ley lines are the thing that powers all magic, and in certain, like, powerful convergences of said magic can be more powerful. It's also has been speculated by people that if there are two villages or two towns or what have you at the polar ends of one ley line, they would grow up the same. The Ayudara are built in a similar fashion. They are built at one end of a ley line and then take you straight to the other one as a literal open gate, a la like Stargate.
Huh. I remember reading about those back during my days at the academy that my parents sent me to. Those are things relating to the elfin, like, homeworld, where they originally came from. Or at least used magics from that era. That's very powerful magic. And it's hidden underneath the basement?
In the Hell Knight Citadel, yes. It had been blocked off, but our halfling acquaintance was under the impression that there's another way in and out. And the ring he was referring to was the name of the network of gates. And information on that is what he was trying to secure and sell to the highest bidder.
That makes sense. Those gates basically jump you from across ley lines, the very bases by which most magic, no matter the tradition, from what I recall, works. Maybe some strange otherworldly things exist.
Across an entire ley line? That's certainly more powerful than a simple teleportation spell.
Ohm's ears literally perk up at this.
And that's saying something. Ohm's ears are kind of perky as it is.
Yeah, I just kind of like look over to Ohm and say, it's very likely this could be highly dangerous. If they were to go to the act of stealing it off, that would mean that whoever was on the other side, the Hell Knights, absolutely did not want to be able to access them. That being said, it's also the type of magic that it's going to get out. It's really powerful, really expensive, really... Yeah. If that guy was after money and was trying to sell the information about that, oh yes, there'd be people out there that pay handsomely for it. I can name you some from my home city, nonetheless.
That sounds very profitable for us to look into.
Well,
Yes.
There is the problem of, was he simply looking for it for profit? Because if so, then didn't he mention another individual that he was running from?
He did say that he was looking for that item for someone.
Exactly, which means that there's someone above all of this.
Yes.
So this item could actually be the elf ring instead.
That was
Well,
my impression.
To say it's an item would imply that it's able to be moved, and those elf gates cannot be moved, otherwise they will be broken. The magic that they use is very, very technical. So I don't think necessarily maybe we're looking at just the elf gate. I think when you said that he's looking for information, perhaps by that elf gate is not only the elf gate, but perhaps there's information on the elf gate it goes to, as well as maybe other elf gates nearby. We might be looking at a grand junction of a group of them that could teleport people across Galarion.
Speculation. Let's not.
Yeah, potentially, but you are right. I should curve my speculation there. Either way, it is, one, very exciting, two, very concerning.
Well, I need to rest if we are going to re-prepare and leave. So I am going to find a place to sleep. If y'all wish to continue speaking, go ahead.
Okay.
Very well.
Like I said
So-
last session, you guys can stay at the inn you stayed at free of charge. It's floor space only at the new Bumble Brasher hold, I'll say.
Prefer the inn.
Of course.
We yeah,
So,
we do need to
Like-
prepare and get ready to go up there again.
Yes.
so we are intending to go and see this relic for ourselves.
Yes.
Yep.
That and clear and secure the building so the Bumble Brashers may return to their home.
Yes.
That too.
I did
I mean, I will
promise
not-
Warble.
Sorry, friend, I did not mean to interrupt you.
I did promise Warble and Hilda. I did tell them that all we were doing was recovering our magics and stealing ourselves, and then we were going to complete what we set out to do. I guess I just check on the progress from the scribes.
Okay. At that point, it doesn't take long for them to whip up another book, and they've given it to Calmont, and he seems to be reading
one
quietly
from
and
each of
intently.
them.
Right. Yeah.
Tommy, question, since I am a prepared spellcaster, do you want me to tell you what spells I am preparing?
I do. In the
Okay.
same way that I need to know what formula the alchemists are formulating. Not that I think any of you would cheat, but it would be nice to know.
Of course.
I have an arrangement with the rogue. He is preparing me 4 lightning flasks in exchange for 2 of the level 2 poisons of each type. So 2 of the lethargy and 2 of the adder
Black
venom.
Adder.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am making 2 black adder venom and 2 lethargy poisons for him, and he is making me 4 bottled lightning. I am making for myself 2 juggernaut mutagens and 2 elixirs of life and 6 acid flasks.
Makes sense. As everyone suddenly sees Anastasia's skin turn like a russet orange color. She's the juggernaut! Breaks down everything forever. I remember the 2000s X-Men.
Oh, that was a fun one.
I
Up
need
there
to
was-
double check which first level spells I'm preparing other than heal.
Also, since I did take the alchemist dedication fee, I'm only really using those to just prepare for. Actually, I only get 1 per level, right? Because I don't have my intelligence modifier because I'm not a full alchemist, which is sad, but oh well. I'm just going to use that to prepare for elixirs of life at level 1. That's what I'm doing with the alchemist's infused agents. As for my spells, since I'm level 2, I now have 3 first level spell slots and 5 cantrips I can prepare. Note, I took the skill feat Arcane Sense, Arcane Sense. So essentially now
You're
I
detect
just
magicking all the time.
essentially, or I could just cast detect magic in
It's at will.
yeah.
Got you. Okay, fair enough.
So I'm not preparing that one. I am preparing for my cantrips: shield, light, telekinetic projectile, study aura, and I'm also going to go with prestidigitation. Going to go with the wild card, and then 2 things of shocking grasp, 1 thing of magic weapon.
Okay, sounds good to me. I will also say I didn't expect at jump for everyone who wasn't an alchemist to dedicate alchemist, but it is really interesting to me. I've said it several times that 4 alchemists could walk into a group and all 4 of them could be built differently, and here we are seeing it. All the heals. Okay, fair enough. So the night passes, you guys get your, I believe, level times con and hit points back, and if you would like to immediately take off for Hell Knight Hill, we certainly can.
That is fine by me.
Yeah, that's what my intention was.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should
Jason?
have No, I was looking up to make sure that 4 was the maximum number of items I could do, but that is correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, only thing I would have said is I would have tried another treat wounds on myself, because I'll be 7 down from max.
Sure. Okay. You are.
I have a very
able to
high
do so.
mod. I'd be willing to do that before bed.
It's one of those things I think would have been taken care of before bedtime. I apologize.
Oh yeah, by
Yeah,
all means.
I would be more than willing to take care of that.
Also, for the record, Tommy, I forgot to add the 2 spells I got for level up to my list. I'm going to swap out that magic weapon for a casting of Summon Construct.
Okay, sounds good to me. All the robots.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to add the +1 for level. That is exactly a success.
Oh, fair enough. Dope. Okie dokie. So you guys should still be on. I don't think I moved you. Yeah. If you guys, Bolix will come with you. He seems to be a little more fighty now, as I have spoken to Idaho, and he is either archetyping barbarian, ranger, or fighter. He's not sure yet, but something martially for sure.
That is
And,
cool.
He will watch the pony that fears no goblin. You guys are in exploration mode as you travel to Hell Knight Hill, and encounter mode once we hit the map. If anybody has any exploration tactic they'd like to use other than just get there, now would be the time.
I would like for us to move quietly
Okay.
on the way up.
You did in fact take that quiet allies,
That too.
which I forget what does. It's good. Though.
Stand by.
Maybe less good for this group, but if we get a bunch of new patrons and they all like want to roll champions, super
Yeah.
good.
It basically lets us use his stealth roll if ours is lesser.
Okay, fair enough. So a 19
But it
is
only
more than good enough.
But I believe it only functions in exploration mode.
Correct. So unfortunately, it won't function on the actual board, but it is functioning right now, which is relevant, because if someone had rolled bad, I'd have to dig out a random encounter. Nobody wants random encounters when we're not running on experience to level. So
I'm fine with them.
it's pretty quiet. You guys approach the hill, and on the board you are. Bolix stays with Ziponi. And how you proceed is up to you guys.
Don't eat the pony while we're going.
He says something, I can't really do his voice very well, and then Darkwing ducks with his cape and goes, he tries to fly again. It doesn't pan out super well, but he doesn't seem to mind.
The poor pony is getting used to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That pony is probably a reincarnated goblin dog. Okay,
Just a druid who's real helpful.
that too.
The pony's new name is Maximus.
That'd be one high-level druid to be in a pony for that long.
He's got a hat of disguise, but it's just like one of those big old horse hats, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He just, boop, now he's a pony.
Yes. Okay. Let's discuss how we're going to do this quickly. We need to, I would say, we go through, start here at the front door and move through the entire building, room by room. Any objections?
Are we going to backtrack to rooms we've already been in?
Yes, because we may have missed something. Because who knows what all is hidden here.
Then shall we start at the door we've already been through?
Seems reasonable.
As we're walking onto the map, I'm just going to put my staff away, reach down and grab a handful of stones. Just kind of all right. I think it sounds fine for us to clear room by room. I look over to Leo. Do you guys have any desire for him to do anything particular?
Is he able to see in darkness?
Yes, Leo is able to see in darkness pretty well.
Well, I believe that means I know I can see without the benefit of light. Perhaps I should scout slightly ahead of the group with Leo. Use him to transfer messages back and forth if I find something.
Very well. That sounds fair enough.
Someone's house is exploding.
No, that's the clattering of Hell Knights.
No!
No!
You guys hear a terrified
They've
sound from
returned!
within the keep as all of the armor falls down. There's a very old wizard, and he turns to a halfling. Fool of a duke! Actually saw a really, really good Lord of the Rings YouTube poop the other day, and it's still funny. I've talked about it a lot. Frodo,
okey-dokey.
the no. God. Okay, we're good. Here we go. Okay, so you guys are on the board. The board is there. I'll say the front door remains open. Nobody
Okay.
shut it. There seems to be nothing inside there.
I believe our intention was to go through the door we went through previously, so the southern...
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You are certainly able to do so. You should be able to move your tokens.
And before I enter, I draw one of the dog slicers.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Just in case, I will.
Acid in hand.
Alrighty. So I want to... This may have been a miscommunication in an earlier session, but I want to remind Cube Talk that if something were to go froggy as they're going in there, Cube Talk is presently standing outside the front door and is far from the encounter.
I have not moved my token. I apologize. I was dealing with some real life stuff real quick.
It was you who knocked over. Fool of a Cube Talk!
Actually, that was
Oh, whoever it was, I want to make sure that no one gets left behind. But in any case, as I said before, this dingy room is littered with toppled bunk beds and broken furniture, and doors to small but more private bed chambers hang open along the western and southern walls. In the room's center, bed frames are stacked upon each other to form a sort of fort. Who dares enter this discord? I hear a ping.
it's a return of spell.
The return of the spell.
It was not a rage quit in or out of character. I simply brushed against hang up by mistake.
Yeah, my life. Rage quits. Bed frames are stacked upon each other to form a sort of fort with filthy and rippled bedding draped over the top to form its ceiling and walls. Of course, there is a one-day dead, stinky bugbear corpse sprawled
I
out on
don't
the
know
floor.
where everyone is.
But you're there.
Could you
Oh,
please
look
move
what
my
happens.
token to where the group is?
There you go. Shaboo!
Done.
I should kick on the display capture so everyone can see this. I'm 0 for 2. I didn't have desktop audio captured. There you go. Now you can see everybody. Hurrah! I'll go ahead and kick open all the doors because I think all of the rooms had been searched.
They had been, but we're going to go back through and search everything as we go.
Okay, sounds good to me. Make it so, friends.
So,
Of course, the bugbear has been looted top to bottom. She's just a little stinky now.
Yeah.
Basically,
Brad.
now that we're not in a rush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. With the catch the thief and help the goblins, the time crunch that has been on you guys definitely feel that lifted. There's clearly important things going on right now, but it seems to be none of them are super pressing.
well, yeah, there are beds.
There are a lot of beds. Okay, so looking around the room that Anastasia's token's in, there's anything of value that would have been in what is basically like the general barracks are now long gone. The rooms off to the side are for like officers and things. Looking in there might yield you some more.
Off to the side,
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah, like
Over here.
correct.
Question.
Answer. The daily double.
When using assurance, do you still get your ability modifier to the skill result?
You do not. Did you get assurance this level? The world may never know. But also, no, you just consider it taking 10, but it's a higher number.
Okay, so I don't get my skill stat modifier, so at the moment I'm just taking battle medicine. Assurance will come later, once I can automatically 50.
Yeah. I have not checked the assurance math to see if it adds up in 2nd edition in such a way that assurance is like a feat I would advise taking, but certainly you won't fumble a thing.
Well, see, once I can auto 15, it's worth it. But I'm auto 14 right now, so it wouldn't be worth it this level. Next time I get a skill feat, it would be worth it.
Makes sense.
So, communal healing and battle medicine are my feats, which means I can use treat wounds in combat.
Woo! Okay, so then you guys go digging around. Both of the rooms that are being searched have been successfully searched into the ground. There's where Ulm is standing is where Jadzia found the Wolffang talisman. In the tell me what's in the southern room. In the that is this. I just need the word sooth. Hello. Nothing in that room. In the room where you're in now.
Search a room.
Okay, fair enough. Nothing in that one either.
It's actually. We're going to go around to each one. Do you want us to actually move tokens into that room, or you just want to give us a number of perception checks to roll?
We can go room by room and just everybody roll. So I'm trying to remember what was already found. You guys found that already. In that room, you found that thing already. Okay, so you guys go room to room, and the two Tiki makes a point. This is kind of weirdly worded, so we'll just... The only things left to find in these rooms are in one of the officers' rooms, in like a... right here. It's pretty easy to find. Leaning up against the foot of the bed, there is a wooden shield. There's also a couple of flasks of like a silvery, whitish sort of liquid that seems to like be carbonated, like it's bubbling.
Identify. I'm using Arcana, Nature, and so on. I will make those rolls in a second. Yeah.
I would show it to the alchemist.
Yeah,
Actually, no. You know, on that note, no. You, Qtalk can look at it and know instantly what it is because it's a pretty common tool amongst her faith. 2 flasks of holy water.
Oh, okay. Hey, holy water's carbonated?
Yeah.
They
That's how it
carbonated the blood of Christ.
So that's how it kills the
silver
zombies.
is good for you.
Yeah.
No, I was
Silver
just
is-
going to ask, is this holy or the holy with a UN in the front of it?
It's the holy water. It's the one that will hurt the zombies, not the one that will hurt like Charles.
Well, the reason I
Please to know.
wondered about this is it used to be a Hell Knight establishment.
Correct. And
So-
I guess really quickly, if anyone has society or in the 1 in a billion that someone has Hell Knight lore. What's a Hell Knight? Asks Anastasia. Ulm doesn't have a whole heck of a lot more. However, somehow, how do you even? I guess.
I was reading about them last night.
Yes.
I tried to go and find a
Beautiful.
library and started to read about them and whatnot since they mentioned it.
My patrons are good players. You hear this? That's beautiful. Yeah. So the Hell Knights were founded whilst Aridin was still alive, and the term is kind of like a moniker. I don't know if I'm using that term right, but whatever. Subscribe for
Misnomer.
more. Thank you. You guys are beautiful. I love you very much. The order was initially founded by an individual whose son had committed suicide, and he wanted to basically go to great lengths to make sure that his son didn't go to hell when his son died for committing suicide, as it was frowned upon by the faith of Aridin, I believe. And so he summoned a devil, and the devil was able to confirm, and he didn't summon it by like selling his soul. He summoned it by the like binding the thing. And in the course of the talks with this devil, he learned that the way hell is organized is very brutally efficient, and the model was copied into a knightly order, which is now spread all across like Galarian. Basically, they are. There, you can find Hell Knights that worship Iomedae. You can find Hell Knights that worship any of the lawful gods. It's not about necessarily the Prince of Darkness. It certainly can be. It's more about just like the pure, unadulterated enforcing of law upon the world, basically. And they
Right,
got the
like
moniker
bureaucracy.
Hellknights. Yeah, pretty much. Think a bunch of Judge Dreds is a real good way to say it.
Yeah, I would state. I
So
did do some.
a brutally efficient bureaucracy.
Correct. They don't necessarily care about whether it helps or hurts somebody. It's the idea is to, I guess, to coin a phrase from Anastasia real quick, pragmatism. This is what needs to get done. Do it efficiently and by any means necessary. I'll go even farther. You know, I'm a generous GM. That's me. I'm gonna make a new window real quick because I need to Google it. It's beyond the scope of the adventure, but it's actually not at all. You guys are presently in a Hell Knight Order of the Nail citadel. The Hell Knights are, as many of these things are, split into various different like orders based on causes and things. Their creed being savagery must be quelled in the land, home, and mind. The idea is beyond the bulwark of civilization and borders of nations lies an endless expanse of wilderness populated by those that will shun the rule of settled lawful societies. And the Order of the Nail, in their opinion, these beings prey upon is a good way to say it, the children of law, trying to like draw civilization into a halt. And so the Order of the Nail was founded to stand against that, to stand against barbarity, which is pretty, it makes a lot of sense why you would find that in what formerly was Cheliax's easternmost border. And still
Especially
basically
with the Goblin Wars, the Goblin Blood Wars, and all of that going on in the area.
precisely.
Yeah, I guess I
Question.
would.
Yes, Iggy.
Is there stone floors in here?
Yeah, the floor is made of stone.
Okay.
I would, kind of start to say, like, while you all were messing with some of the other occupations, I went to the library and started to read up on these Hell Knights. And I must be brutally honest. On paper, I quite like their doctrine and beliefs, but I imagine it's something that tends to lead to a bit of an issue when it comes to practice. They are brutally pragmatistic. This order in particular, I did some more digging on it. This belonged to a faction that they called themselves the Order of the Nail, I believe was the correct term. Leo, back me up on this one. Thank you, Leo. But essentially they created this place to stand against barbarians and whatnot. Just barbarism, essentially. They heard of someone breaking the law and causing a ruckus and savages, they'd go out and kill them for all intents and purposes.
Just my kind of people.
I mean, fair. But at the same time, as I've mentioned before, I am concerned about raw pragmatical outlooks. They're very rule-focused people, but what happens when the rules inevitably twist around themselves?
This
It's-
is not the only way to order a harmonious society, and that's what bothers me about groups like this.
Okay. So walking towards A4, I'm going to produce flame in my hand and start throwing it under the tables. Because
Okay.
I was ambushed by spiders in that room.
And that's why you
Oh,
asked if the floors are made of stone, because you don't want to burn the place
Yeah.
down. Okay, fair enough.
Come to think of it, now that I should have realized this, that someone had access to produce flame, I would have asked someone to burn the bugbear corpse.
We might want to
I'm-
take it
I'm-
outside first.
Yeah, I'm not doing that in here where we've got to breathe it.
Yeah, it'll get a lot worse if you set it on fire. Ooh.
Well, I've already cleansed the surface stuff, so its decomposition isn't going to get much worse while we're...
If you want it burned, drag it outside.
I'll take care of that. I'll say, I imagine I have the bulk to carry it. I have the bulk to carry a medium creature outside with no trouble.
Yeah,
So-
and Bugbear is a medium creature, so...
Yeah, so I'll just heave him up over my shoulder.
I'll go help him so I can immediately cleanse your character.
I mean, I don't need the help, but I would need the cleansing afterwards. Although I could handle
Can
that
you
myself.
produce
as well.
flame?
I can't produce flame, but I have an adventurer's kit that has flint and steel in it, so we could get started.
I'd follow him out just to throw fireballs at it.
Okay,
Do you
that
have
makes sense.
prestidigitation also?
Me? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Then you can clean yourself.
You can clean yourself. So I'm just continuing to explore.
Okay, so
Yeah,
as you guys you drag
okay.
the bugbear's body out and you burn the body.
Yeah, I just pick it up and carry it outside.
One thing I want to point out is outside is grass.
Then we can do that later.
Okay,
Wait,
gotcha.
what about over here? This patch over here that I just pinged. That looks a bit more like dirt. Is that
It's the art is kind of a misnomer. Not a misnomer. That's wrong. Really quickly, I will go do a scroll. The walls are all kind of sad and crumbly and gross, but all of them have, like, when you step adjacent to the wall, it's difficult terrain, as like ivy creepers and creeping ivy things have all like overgrown the place around. So in a 10-foot wide perimeter around the entire citadel, it's difficult terrain.
Oh,
You could just leave the body. There's going to
then
be
I
bugs,
just
things
chuck the
to eat
body
it.
in that square there, and then clean
Yeah.
myself off using prestidigitation.
Okay.
And just like say like we can take care of more formal burial necessities later. To be
It's a
frank,
bugbear. I don't think it actually has those kind of necessities.
I mean, it is a goblin creature, is it not? I say, looking over to home. Would it not maybe follow some of your people's traditions?
That would be
They
a
are still
society or
thinking
nature
being.
check.
Character-wise, I'm going to choose to fail that.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Not critical fail, just fail, if that's possible.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Alm definitely knows these guys they're definitely goblinoids. They're just kind of the slightly bigger version of, like, halfling is to human as goblin is to bugbear, is a real, like, simple way to
Yeah.
note that. They are, like, unlike goblins, the bugbears are a little more, due to the nature of their coming, which is a bit of, like, shrouded in mystery. Some people say Lamash too, some people say other, like, darker forces, but they are creatures of, by and large, of course, they can be, like all sentients, redeemed creatures of, like, malice and hate, and they prey on remote farmsteads, and they reveal their presence with thumps in the night or creaking boards, like, literally just to scare someone before they kill them.
Everyone of this kind I've ever met was uninterested in civilized behavior.
So the
Maybe.
epitome of a Hell Knight.
I'm sorry.
The epitome of a Hell Knight. The opposite.
It is kind of ironic that they have come to
yes.
live in the Citadel. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good,
I
'cause
I would
I'm-
leave it outside for now, and out of character, is there a normal burial practice for them?
Probably not. I could quickly dig up lore on the goblin hero gods, but
I'm not actually.
Cremation
Yeah.
should be good enough.
yeah.
It
Or
doesn't
like,
sound like...
there are certainly, actually, as you guys approach the Citadel, there would be, like, carrion birds circling overhead, because there's a pretty big lizard thing laying in an open air courtyard. So that also is an option.
Well, I'm not in. I'm not.
Spell would also like to see if he knows anything about their religions.
The goblin hero gods are... Oh, I bet they're gonna change in 2E when they get codified, but a lot of them are just like the god of fire, the god of killing horses, the god of eating, things of that nature.
So cremation once
Or
again just sounds
also
like
Lamash too, the the mother
Yeah.
of monsters.
Right.
once again
Good,
sounds like cremation. I mean, on one hand, I understand the need for cremation. On the other hand, I mean, well, then again, would we want whatever would eat that to be in this area?
Cremated
Cremation.
bodies do not rise as undead.
That's very
Oh,
true.
that is a very good
Yes.
point, given the nature of the things we fought lately.
There's a lot of unholy energy on Galarian right now. What with the whispering? What with a simple job? that's
Yes.
that's what happened. All right, fair enough.
Yes.
So the body is dealt with. It is put to the place, and the thing happens, and nothing burns down. What happens next, team?
Okay. I was continuing around the side. I would like help going through. I've put X's in every room I think we've checked.
You guys at this point have checked all the things. The only real thing
Okay.
you had missed was the shield and the holy water.
Okay.
And
He
is-
quickified it.
A4 is doing a burn. There are lots of bodies of spiders and cobwebs and things, but there's nothing else in there. Charles moves into A8. If Charles could give me a perception check.
Of course. I'm just kind of returning into the art. Should I also roll one from
For Leo? Yeah, that's fair.
let me double check his modifier. Just gotta quickly jump back up to that page. It's down in spells, double checking stuff.
Did Q-Tuck want this door up here opened?
I'm just going through. I can't remember which doors we've already explored and which we haven't.
All of them.
So I saw
The doors you have explored are open. The doors you have
And we
explored.
can see through them, right?
Yeah, right.
Those are the ones we've gone through, alright. Sorry, just here we go, familiars.
The most powerful of mouse wheels. Okay, so A8.
Modifier, save the AC or equal to your level plus your spellcasting modifier. So that would be
Okay.
+6 for him.
Sure.
So 2 higher than what I'm about to roll.
Dirty
so 20
20.
for a dirty 20 for Leo, a 14 for me because I don't have a wisdom modifier.
Okay, sounds good. So, doing a quick scroll. This large training chamber holds rows of moldering, straw-filled dummies, many of them wielding wooden replicas of various martial weapons. With a perception check that big, you know the door that is open that exposed you to a spear that damn near killed
Yes.
Ohm. That was a secret door that was somehow unlocked. There is a door right here. This part down here that you can't really tell on the map because it's the very end of the map does give way as a way to get out of the keep. But of course, then you're going down 20 feet down a... what am I trying to say? Down a... You will fall, and climb checks are hard.
So like a cliff?
Like where the wall has crumbled.
Oh, yeah. I'll
Like
just
what
kinda-
Jadzia tried to climb that one time. Same idea.
I'll just kind of look over the edge and be like, nope.
As you go to look around the room a little farther, the dummies they're all filled with straw that has gone to rotting, and a lot of them are falling apart. There's a lot
I
of
imagine Leo just flies over to the head of one of them and is just kind of clawing at it a bit, like a cat toy.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll percentage dice,
Me?
please.
Sure. 96.
Fall to
Nice.
your death.
So, dang. Leo flies over to one and goes to claw the head, and the head has been, it's all rotting and sad and gross, and it's enough for the boop to cause the head of the training dummy to fall off. It leans back, and it hits with a gross thud as it hits the ground, and then there's a little cling as a silver piece falls out.
It's gonna turn around to Leo. Leo's just gonna grab the coin and kind of run up to me almost like a dog would and just hold it up to me, and I'm just gonna look down at Leo and say, yes, I know, you are my good luck charm now, aren't you? And just pick him up and scratch him behind the mane.
And I see a nature and a perception from Anastasia.
A coin just came out of that thing's head. Are these bodies just strung up, or is it actually straw dummies?
They're literally just straw dummies.
I just
Okay.
got stupidly lucky.
You did. Actually, in conjunction with the really stupidly lucky and a previous society check, it dawns on Charles now, as Charles is trying to remember things, that lots of folks that have come through here, and it's pretty obvious that since the Citadel has been left open to the elements for 1,000,000 years... Ross, your typing is loud and I'm talking.
Sorry.
Since it's been left open to the elements for a while, a lot of bugbears and goblins and things have come through. But what they wouldn't know is the Order of the Nail had a tradition in which the recruits, known as armigers, would have to tithe by tucking coins into these training dummies whenever they would fail to perform a suitable attack against one.
Oh, so if they failed, they would have to literally put coins in the dummies?
Yes, it's a very effective way to make sure people are good at attacking the way you want them to. It also
Yeah, I'm just
probably means if there was one silver piece, there may be more.
I'm gonna like flip the coin, just kind of like catch it, like, oh, guys, rip these dummies apart.
We do have a bag of holding also, as I check the private.
Yes.
Just making sure because I didn't take the money off of my character sheet because I left before we got that finalized.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with them, because we shouldn't split it.
Are you sure?
Nice. Start ripping apart I grab at the nearest dummy and just start like ripping into it.
Where is the group?
They're somewhere.
So
Cole?
I'm just gonna like start ripping at this one right here in front of me.
There you
Do
go.
I find anything in it?
It would take you guys probably about 10 minutes to tear all of these dummies apart. I'll say that.
And we will.
I would obviously like start tearing into them and say, guys,
Yeah.
I just remembered something I read that I thought was really cool. So these training dummies, you know how Leo just found a coin in one on kind of like accident? When there was a training tradition where the initiates
Spit it out. There's more money in them?
there's money in them, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good. Don't need the info dump. And yeah,
So,
spending about 10 minutes tearing them apart, you guys find a total of 20 silver hidden in the
Nice.
stuffing of the dummies. Though the hay has gone to grossness, the silver is pretty fine, and it's this doesn't make it any more expensive, but it's stamped with the symbol of, I know it's a meta region now, but the symbol of the old Empire of Cheliax.
I'm using
Lore.
prestidigitation so the coins are shiny because I am not skilled enough in numenology to know that you shouldn't clean coins. Besides, this is magic, not chemistry.
Fair enough. Okay, and there's Anastasia's standing at a door right now.
Okay. One quick question before we go on. Area A4. Was anything new found in there?
No. Burnt spider bodies, if you want to get super particular, but other than that, no.
Pathfinder. I love when just randomly awesome things come together.
I love
the,
when I have
the
a
only
plan
way
to
to,
work the things.
the only thing to deal with spiders, unless they are your pets, is to burn them with fire.
Fair.
Fair indeed.
See, this is why you should go to the library and enjoy yourself with a good book every now and then. And Leo's just gonna like, "Ah." And I'm just gonna look at him and
Hey,
say, "What do you know? You can't read."
Last time we were in here, there were trapped doors. So how about the rogue handles this?
You
Assuming
know,
the rogue has the
Yes.
skills to find the traps, because it's not
I
necessarily
mean, I just kind of like, I just look up from where I'm at. You do realize I'm sitting all the way over here, away from the doors, for that reason, right?
Yes, I do.
It just came to my mind. That's all.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I know it's thievery to disable a device or pick a lock.
Perception to find it.
Let's be perceptive.
That door is definitely not trapped.
Okay. Is it locked?
It's not locked either.
I will go ahead and push it up.
Alrighty. And bam. Floor to wall shelves here still hold a few rotted provisions and cooking utensils, though the room is disastrously filthy and has clearly been ransacked. Very clearly, this was the pantry.
Okay.
There are two doors on the east and west.
Well, first I would like to. My intent is to truly do the breach clear search.
Jason is learning from being in Adventure Paths in Kaizo's universe. Open the door, there are a million held actions. Go through it, search the room, and then lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, so you guys go looking around. There's a lot of stuff there, so it would probably take a little bit of cleaning of clutter has to happen before you can find anything else, but like cleaning and organizing and things probably take you about 10 minutes if you're willing to do so.
Oh, one
Yes.
thing I want to mention.
Yes.
I've retrained ghost sounds to produce flame.
Okay. That would, if you did not prep that this morning, it would take time to have prepped, which hasn't passed. In any case. Actually, don't you get that for free? You should get that for free, don't you?
Produce
about-
flame isn't on the divine list, so I retrained my adaptive.
Right.
talent.
It's not, you're
Level.
right. But I'm like, I know I'm holding up the game. Hang on. I am so sure that Sarah and Ray would give you Produce Flame as like a spell on your spell list.
Domains don't work like that anymore, but if they do,
No, but
then
you
sure.
do get extra spells from being from your deity. So,
Yeah, like I know, for example,
like
Nephews.
Yomade can give a cleric True Strike, for example.
Nethys has a bunch of wizardy ones, like Magic
I do
Jar and
have
stuff.
I do have the fire domain.
Okay, hang on, one sec. Doing a scroll. Almost there. Sarah and Ray. Cleric spells are first Burning Hands, third Fireball, fourth Wall of Fire. So no burning. No Produce Flame. Boo on you. But
Where
close
does
enough.
it list what bonus spells you get from them?
In the entry, and it's weird that like a lot of things in the core rulebook, if I had a complaint, would be that I feel like I'm jumping around all over the place to find things, but they are found in the religion section in the Age of Lost Omens in the core rulebook. So like as I'm looking
Oh, okay, the cleric spell section down there.
yeah, or the devotee benefits. So like your divine font is to heal, you got medicine for free, you are proficient with a scimitar for free, so on and so forth. Anyway, so as
Yeah.
Annie
so,
and Ohm, yes.
Yeah, to fit in better with Sarah and Ray, I retrained ghost sounds to produce flame.
All right, so then retraining. I'm not sure you had the downtime sufficient to retrain the spell.
I think he means spell preparation.
Okay, I will let that go this one time, but in the future we must know when the day starts, because that's metagaming.
Okay.
In any case, about 10 minutes for Ohm and Annie.
You actually didn't ask him earlier.
I assumed he would say something, and that be, do you not want your silver dagger? You can't have your silver dagger. You don't find it.
What? Sorry, was that me?
Yeah, as you guys go looking around, there's enough edible food, enough like non-perishable stuff in the room for 8 rations worth, and there is it's definitely just supposed to be like a kitchen knife, but it is made out of, like, as you pick it up, it shines like silver and would function as a silver dagger.
As I see it, I'd just be like, yeah, leave it up to the Hell Knights to make sure even their cutlery is effective killing weapons.
And there are 2 doors.
I'm not proficient particularly. Blah, 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 blah. God, this common tongue is annoying. I'm not particularly proficient with knives. Do you care to take it home?
Sure, I'll stick it in my belt for now.
Okay. And then I saw Ohm ping a door, and since nothing
Yes.
bad is there, we could just open it. It's a rows of long, slender dining tables in skewed rows, sit in skewed rows throughout the room. Broken chairs are scattered throughout the chamber, and the entire room has an air of disuse and disarray, what is very clearly a mess hall, which has been looted and left, unless you wanted a bunch of wood, looted beyond recognition. With
Just
3 doors. Not really anything there.
Yeah.
The
Alright, so-
non-perishable food would be worth cleansing and putting into the bag of holding.
But
If
they are
need
they
be,
are
I
like
can-
they are non-perishable and good. You don't need to cleanse them. They are edible as is.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, pretty much all of the loot that is not otherwise put into someone's inventory directly will go into the bag of holding.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The
And,
only
I
reason The only reason I said I'd stick it in my belt is because I don't know if we have something we can easily wrap.
Well,
it
we
in.
actually have sheaths, but the bag of holding in second edition does not rupture if you put something sharp in it.
Right. I've also, I don't know if you guys necessarily want to use it or not, but I have made a loot tab in the Age of Ashes section of our Discord. So everybody
there's
can
a
know
loot.
we have.
Cool.
My
So,
Carrion Crown group has a full Google sheet. If you guys ever want something like that, it's a pretty good format.
No, I don't mind just putting it there. But yeah, anything y'all that you're not keeping on your character, go ahead and write into the loot sheet.
20 silver does kind of divide weird by 5. Well, no, it doesn't. I was thinking 6. It'd just be 4 silver apiece.
And I get the extra one for Leo, because Leo is my lucky charm.
Hurrah! Oh,
Hurrah.
my next team.
Okay.
I'm gonna open this door right here next to me, just kind of as like a
And nothing happens. I'm sure you know where it leads.
Yeah, I figure I do. Yep.
I'll go ahead and
Okay.
make this one obvious as well.
Yep.
Okay. So, okay. Just as a player statement, am I the only one who's going to drop a perception check in?
No, I was taking care of some real life things. I'm following the group, Mac. I'm sorry, I'm not good at moving my token on.
I got you. Okay. Both Annie and Ohm are pretty sure there's nothing in here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's more of a function of,
Yep.
well, there's definitely nothing in here. 9 and a 6.
Yeah. It does look tapped out. Next question is, do we want to take this door or do we want to go back through the pantry?
I personally think we should go back to the other door in the pantry because from our previous through, that's the only space that I know of that is not searched.
Anastasia is correct. That would be able to cut off like this whole corner of this floor of the Citadel.
They I would not surprise me if they had secret doors in the past. They seem like the type.
Yes. I'll open this door real quick.
Okay, and it
Because
takes you to... I think you know where.
Okay.
To flavor
That one's
text
a
it
big thing.
again. To the north of many rows of stadium-style benches stands a wide dais. Garbage clutters what was once undoubtedly a pristine floor. A small corridor near the dais leads to the west, which is where you are standing now.
Okay.
And to the north is that where that portcullis was, and you went down into the courtyard from there.
Right. Okay. Just was checking.
Of course.
So back into the pantry. Perception check. Is the door trapped?
Not trapped and not locked.
Open the door.
Okay,
Tommy,
so then...
while this is all going on, can I recall by any chance if I happen to read why they left this fortress?
With a society check?
All right.
Not really, no. The general assumption is this is the backwater of Cheliax. But what you can recall, as I pop this door open, right quick, like, there's going to be, before anybody does a move in, there's a little bit of flavor text, because parts of this AP are very just flavorful. Inside the room, Charles sees the door open, and it's very clear to Charles, as he sees the pentagram on the floor, that these black flagstones painted here are... like the center bit is sunken down. The edges of what is clearly an arena are painted a deep crimson color, and there's a big old pentagram in the center, this being the staging and observation area for the all too infamous Hell Knight test, which to become a Hell Knight, as you know if you played one in first edition, you must single-handedly defeat a devil of your CR or lower, and a Hell Knight must witness you do so. This is where it would take place. Usually, like, it would happen twice a year, something like. And I definitely told you to not move into the room. Get back. I'll throw you back.
I'm so sorry.
Sit, boo-boo. Sit, boo-boo.
Sitting. Sitting.
Oftentimes there would be like a bearded devil, but it could be, depending on the expertise and the level of the armiger involved, or the armiger, excuse me, it could be anything at all, and the armiger and said devil would then fight for the death, and if they die, if he dies, he dies, and if not, you're a full Hell Knight. And presently inside the room, it reacts to you guys opening the door, or rather, he reacts. A handsome, dark-haired man in matte black armor, carrying it says great sword, that's a misnomer for your order and your art, so poop on that, a halberd, moves towards the door. As he does so, you can see sticking out of the top of his halberd is an imp. The imp twitches a couple times, and he looks at it askance and slams his halberd into the wall, and the imp shudders and dies.
So out of character, see, we need to actually come to an agreement. When doors are opened, we cannot move until the DM says so.
Plus.
Sorry, too excited.
The man looks up and sees you guys, and he starts to say something, and you guys hear a hissing sound and something dropping from the rafters. Great. More bloody hell monkeys. And not one, but two, was going to be three. But hey, we got appropriate amount of players today. Dropping down a pair of imps. If we could roll for initiative. You guys have a friend.
I was literally, as you were going to walk in, just was like, as soon as I get the option to, I was going to say, Ku, you might want to be ready to purify, but that kind of seems to be obvious now. Holy moly!
Come on.
People are just rolling high tonight.
Good.
DM needs to start rolling low.
Hey.
Well, Jadzia already paid in bloods.
That actually was not the DM's fault, so low blow, dude.
I mean, she was at a lot of dying values.
She was at a line.
I'm making an in-character reason for why the rolls are what they are.
Of course.
I'm not trying to cheapen anything. It's just
I'm
the
trying
way
to
I am as
cheapen
a
it.
storyteller.
We're good.
All right,
okay?
so combat begins. That was the fastest initiative I've ever seen in my life, and this imp is fast enough to get the drop on. It sees its dead friend and is sad, and it would like to move over to hang out with its friend Ohm. As I will say I like the imp art in second edition a lot more than I liked it in first edition. I'm just gonna put that out there. As it does a flappy stride, as I talk to fill the space as I go to the imp. Hello, impy boy. What do you do, friend? Yeah, sure. So it flies in 5 feet above where Ohm is. Like, I'll just move the token. It moves directly over top of Ohm. And Ohm has not acted and is flat-footed, I believe, still to like level 3. And is going to try to do a sting. 16 to hit Ohm.
That may not hit. My AC is 19, but
So, yeah,
15.
you are 19 with 15?
Yeah, I have a base dex. I get 4 off of mine.
Right. So flat-footed in second edition is just a -2. So if your base armor class is 15, it would be targeting a 17. So it comes in, it flies, and it tries to sting. And basically all that really happens there is just like you are not quite aware enough to react, but it bounces off a little bit of your armor, and it chuckles maniacally as it tries again with an agile tail. So that number, wham! And 7 is much worse. Charles is on.
Well, seeing this thing fly up towards my friend and just kind of realizing, oh, poop. Verbal and somatic component is going to step forward, and for the first time in this actually been in this game, I'm going to try and attack him with a shocking grasp.
Sounds good to me. Make that spell roll.
Where do I click to get you to actually roll? This is strange. It's +8. I haven't gotten my character
Yeah, it's
fully.
all good. Roll the thing.
I haven't gotten the spells in there because that just takes so much time.
Welcome to being a wizard. 24,
24 to hit.
Is a hit. You got him.
All
You
right.
click the name of the spell to make it roll.
I don't have the spells in there because it's just So
Work
let's
on it. It's faster and it's less clicky clacky from you.
click clack click clack click clack.
No, the imp is not wearing anything metal, though the art does seem to appear that it has an earring. The earring is not enough.
It is 2d12 points of damage. And if I remember correctly, assuming everything went right. Yep. And he takes 1d4 points of persistent electric damage. So there's the oh boy.
So
There's the
before,
initial
don't give me
just, like,
anything
touch.
else. When a devil dies, they are sent back to hell. If you want to flavor that kill.
Oh, I'm just gonna see it try to sting Ohm, and I'm just gonna oh no, you, and just in Thessalonian conjure forth lightning, and just as Ohm's probably wait, what the? I'm just gonna kind of grab it and just I guess it kind of just fades with a crackle of electricity as I kind of crush it in my palm.
For a
Right,
couple of
like I
seconds,
tried
you
to.
see the outline of the imp's skeleton as you grab it by its big old horn and just and it shakes and disappears back to hell in a puff of smoke and brimstone. That's the word. And that was 3 actions. So Annie, get your bomb.
No.
You needed to step and then 2 actions to cast.
Oh yeah, I did need to step. My apologies. I didn't realize. Yeah, sorry. Distance is a bit funny.
Of course.
But yes, that is my turn. My
I
apologies.
thought Annie, get your bomb was a good way to do the thing that wasn't frozen.
It is good. I like it.
Thank you.
Not there. There. Do.
Okay. So, the bomb is hurled. It doesn't it collides with the wall behind it, I'll say.
Alright, I can still do one more, and I think I will.
Okay. And that should have a -5 on it, is that right?
Yes, -5.
Which would then cause that to miss as well. The bombs land in the wall and go poof. And Cube Tuck.
Let me look at the battle map real quick. I'm going to Divine Lance the imp that was attacking.
So presently you
that,
do not have line of sight to any of the imps. As I check your line of sight, you can kind of see where the man in the dark armor is, but you can't see Annie, and you can only hear the other one. So you would need to stride first. And there you go. There it is.
Line of sight's being weird because of fog of war, and I
Right.
hate it.
I'm double checking. You see everything you should be able to see right now because of walls and things. And you have used 1 action. Divine Lance, I'm assuming, is 2. If you want to pew pew.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I was in the spot I was aiming for. Yeah, I'm Divine Lancing one of the imps.
Okay. Just the one left.
Dang it, there's no easy button to click to just make a spell attack, so I'll roll a d20 plus.
Okay.
There's a
And
24 hit.
24 hits. So I'm
Because of
pretty
it-
sure. I'm going to grab the sheet. I'm about 90% sure. I can scroll down here and, well, you don't have Divine Lance filled out in here. So I will, I'll say, casters, that's your homework for this week. Put your spells where you can easily use them.
Okay, I'll put my attack, cantrips, and a heal there.
Okay. So then for now, what's the damage? You definitely hit.
If it's a crit, it's 2d4.
Okay. Yeah, 2d4 then. I will roll it for you. Here's hoping I roll well. There you go. As the light of Saren Ray bursts forth from your hand, shrieking out in a line, hit a
Also plus charisma modifier, so +6.
+6. You don't have a charisma of 6.
It says plus your charisma modifier, and it's a crit, so all damage is double.
It's not a critical. What is your charisma modifier?
Oh, +3. Sorry.
+3. Good. I
So
will
6
continue my flavor text now. Fire bursts forth, burns the thing. Ouchie, ouchie, vulnerable to good. 3, 6, that much damage. And it goes to me. For its first action, it will... what do I want to do? I don't know. Yeah, I know what I want to do. It's going to fly over to the cleric. Flies around the man who does nothing about it. And for its first trick, it's a 15 to hit Cute-Tuck. I think she died on us. No, she's there. Does 15 hit you?
Let me look. I was in the wrong section of the.
I'll assume it doesn't, and I will roll again. But if I'm wrong,
Hold on.
between here and there.
Yeah, a armor class of. I'm not armored, and I don't have shield proficiency, so yeah. It does.
Oh, does hit. Okay, fair enough. Neato.
There
If
isn't
you
a
could-
shield proficiency anymore.
Everyone
May I
else does.
interject, please?
Do you have a reaction?
No, but the two things I threw were of the splash trait. The imp would still take 4 splash damage.
Okay, got it.
Because
Understood.
on miss, they still take splash damage.
Gotcha. Okay, so then it's 3 points. Nice. 3 points of piercing damage, and if Cute-Tuck could make a fort save for me.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
then
I'm using a hero point.
sure. Alrighty, my cat is laying right in front of where the... So it burns a little at first, and then the light of Saren Ray burns it out, as the hero point does get you exactly what you needed to not get depoisoned. I think it's gonna... it'll try to attack again. It likes its odds. So then, ba-ba-boo, ba-da-boo, hata-gata, 16.
Hit.
Make fortitude save. Take 1 point of piercing damage.
Sigh.
And this time it's much worse. It flies in, and it stings, and it hurts to the tune of you are now clumsy 1 for a round, and take 6
What
points
does
of...
that do?
I believe a -1 to dex things, but 6 points of poison damage is probably the more important one. Pass it to Ohm. I will really quickly, here we go, gonna grab... Oh, Achilles, you're laying right where I need to look, sir. Appendix, conditions appendix, clumsy...
Right.
Whereas
Next level.
you take
I'm
a status
taking
penalty,
Holy
which is
Castigation.
1, equal to the dexterity-based checks and DCs, including armor class, reflex saves, ranged attack rolls, and skills using acrobatic stealth, such as stealth and thievery and acrobatics and things. And you guys see this time when the little like scorpion tail of this thing stings in, Cute-Tuck's skin rapidly turns like a purplish color and starts to foam.
Okay.
Ohm is up.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
Do I have to be in the same square as this thing to hit it?
Oh, yeah,
Melee?
that's fair. No, you can reach. It's in Cute-Tuck Square, though. It's a tiny creature.
Okay, then that makes things better. One action interact, draw my second dog slicer.
Okay.
Then twin feint.
Sounds good to me. Now I don't have to question whether or not Cuke is providing flanking, because the second one will get there anyway.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, 22 hits. 8 slashing damage is 8 slashing damage. It seems to bounce off a little bit.
And the second is against its.
Flat-footed, which is not good enough.
Okay. But I'll still take the 22.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's my
That's your roll.
actions.
Gotcha. The man in the big armor, he's probably going to sudden charge. I'm actually not really sure what he can do. Loud bike has finally kicked on outside. That poor man couldn't get his bike going. Lots of spitting and pooping. Achilles just stood up and stretched his back like cats do. But it's right over top of this guy's entry. Achilles, lay down, you fool. He can't do anything that cool. So he's just going to stride forth. And then he's going to be a GM PC, I guess. Here we go. We did it, team. We're covered in GM PCs. I don't know what power attack does off the top of my head yet, but he wants to do that. Make a melee strike, counts 2 attacks, deal an extra die of weapon damage. All right, fair enough. So he goes swinging in. The attack probably gets within inches of Cuke as he, like, I say swing, but it's more accurately probably a stab in. As I dodge my cat's tail, trying to find... You guys are about to see the tail. Oh, tail. Plus, I thought it was plus 10. Okay, cool. Bam! And it basically can't not kill him, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and the creature is impaled upon the tip of his halberd as he rams it like inches between Cuke ear and the wall, and the imp shudders and goes back to hell as the initiative is off. And
The initiative is what?
Is off. The initiative is turned off. He is not hostile to you guys, and he does the stab thing, and one must always make sure these nasty things are really finished off. Seems my predecessors perhaps lost sight of that. He pulls a length of cloth from his pouch and begins wiping the unholy gore from his weapon. Thank you for your assistance, by the way. I suspect you're not the normal looters. Who are you then, if you please? He looks to the 4 of you.
We are 2 score maidens between 16 and 19 and a half. Wait,
And
no,
I am the
wrong
Dark Lord
question.
himself. He extends his hands to Cuke. Armiger Alex Stagram. The black gauntlet comes in the direction of Cuke, and you guys all now can see on his left, like, shoulder where you would expect the cape to, like, clip on, there is a symbol of Asmodeus. The pentagram is just right there.
What order are you a part of?
Well, he makes this, like, charming smile and extends his arms to the room. We were formerly from here. Presently we are of from Citadel Vraid in Varzia, but I'm not a true Hell Knight yet, but I, like my parents before me, intend to pledge Order of the Nail.
Okay. And, forgive me, my understanding of religion's still a bit failed, but, that's the symbol of Asmodeus, right?
Of course. Let's just say the Dark Prince has a certain reputation. I know. Yet, of course, he's seen more of existence than any immortal being. And the absolute law he represents is unimpeachable. The Hell Knights understand this. I'm the first to say devils are hateful things. I'm not about to have tea with any of their lot. You watched me put that imp down, did you not? Hello, cat. And no, Leo will be played by Achilles for the rest of 8
Yes!
matches.
Yes!
And no, I don't worship Asmodeus before you begin asking. I don't have a lot of interest in matters of religion at all, to tell you the truth.
The The familiar that's been hanging on my back the whole time just clacks its teeth and turns its head.
Well, aren't you adorable?
Watch out, he bites.
Good.
What was your name again, friend?
Alex Stagram.
Well, I wouldn't actually judge you by the symbols you wear anyway. I can't say much. I worship a grandmother, or rather, Baba.
He just raises an eyebrow and says nothing.
Did we know about the Baba believing? Yeah, we did. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I haven't, I have not hit it, but I have not straight up said Baba Yaga. I have yet to actually say her full name because one does not say full names unless you're trying to summon someone.
Beetlejuice, Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm working over the poisoned wound.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Before any of that goes on, I need Q-Talk to make another... We're kind of on initiative-ish. Q-Talk fort save. Achilles, meow. Ooh.
Leo does not really like this person. Leo
That's
does not trust
that's
him.
A fumble.
May I
from
take a
Q-Talk,
hero point from someone, please?
You can have mine.
because that was a fumble.
Thank you.
You can have mine.
Okay. Proceed.
Don't frick up.
Didn't
There
forget.
you go.
And so then the condition is improved from 1 to 0, and the poison is cured.
All right. I guess I'll patch myself up real.
Hold on. Wait. Trusted to get cured on the alchemist's hero point. Okay.
So,
I do have battlefield medicine, but I'm not using the battlefield version because we are not in combat, so I can do it again in a...
So then that means we're dropping for 10 minutes as Q-Talk heals herself then.
potentially. So,
And I'm back to full health.
Fair enough. Well, you need to roll
Do you
for
have
it.
any? He did.
I mean, like,
25.
don't you have to roll the healed back with the medicine check? Or is it just a flat number? And you're back to full health.
It was a nat 20, so I figured I'd roll pretty well because I get 48. So odds are good that I'd get 12 out.
Good.
Looking to Alex. Do you have any wounds?
Not me.
All right, good then. Sorry, new adventuring party.
I see.
Well, I am Charles Tickhome of Thassalon. I offer my hand out.
Yeah, we heard about that. I've seen many things in my time. I didn't think I'd see people from out of time to return to our time. What times
Oh,
we
I'm
live
sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I wouldn't have been that impolite. I was just distracted by a few other things out of character.
That's fine.
in. Clearly distracted by the
Tiyuk.
burning wound, and he takes your
I
hand
am
and shakes it.
Tiyuk, a simple priest of Sarenrae.
Takes hand and shakes it.
And you may call me Winter.
And as he gets all the names, he takes a very big formal bow. And just, how nice to meet you in this beautiful and well-kept estate.
As to the question would be, may we ask your interests here?
Me? Well, make a diplomacy check. I've taken a short leave of absence from the Citadel. He, as Q-Tuck turns on the charm, well, you haven't tried to kill me yet. I suppose I can be honest with you. My late parents, who were also Hell Knights of the Nail, they never indicated the location, but my family's signet ring is somewhere here, and I'm here to look for it. Somewhere in a safe place in this citadel it is stored. I checked the test area, since it was, in fact, my mother who used to administer the test in her later years. After this, I intend to go down to the crypts below.
I'm
Perhaps.
sure you'll make your parents proud.
He nods.
She's being encouraging and charming and cheerful.
I'm just hoping that looters haven't absconded with the thing. Of course, I don't think my parents would have left it somewhere where it could be easily stolen.
A question
Well,
for your plans after this, or any idea. Does your order intend to take this place back?
Oh my, no. My order
Okay.
has washed its hands of all of this place. Most of them think of Isger as a backwater. It's a shame seeing the Citadel left to
Okay.
rot, but... Well,
I had plans to assist in its restoration, if only for its current occupants' sake. But
Well,
that will have to happen when I am more powerful.
in fact, the story goes up north that when we left this place, we hid the deed to the Citadel somewhere inside it, and anyone brave and strong enough, and through his gauntleted fingers, he does like the woo fingers, to find it would be rewarded with ownership of the place.
oh, well then, that's something for us to find then. However, is there anything else of particular you were searching for here? Because whilst we are not per se looters, we were coming here to clean it out of whatever might remain for the current occupants.
Like in here, I don't think we want to leave a place that could potentially allow demons to set foot on this land.
Devils,
remain.
sir.
Devils. And
Yes,
I
also
think Snoop
devils.
Duck would say it at the same time.
Look, in Thassalon, we have like 5 different words to declare what demon lords, devil lords. Common tongue is
Devils are
not my
lawful,
thing.
demons are not.
It's
I know the
Archdevil.
difference. I know the difference. It's just difficult speaking in this tongue at times. Ugh.
And yeah, she was kind of sing-song because that was part of the mnemonic for her.
Devils,
Well-
demons, infernals, hell creatures, whatever.
Well, if you are having trouble with common, we actually do speak a number of other languages.
That's a talk for another time, but I don't presume, friend, I say looking over to the Armiger, that would you be particularly upset if we were to just cleanse this room out a bit so as to make sure nothing...
No, not at all. This beautiful estate is a relic of the past at best. Most of the valuables were taken to Varizia. What's left behind, with, I imagine, some few exceptions, is of little value. Well, you seem industrious. I like that. And he puts on this really charming smile.
Do I know enough about Hell Knights as to whether they would keep their word?
Yeah, they are maybe not
As what-
necessarily to things they view as lesser in some cases, but yeah, by and large.
I'd imagine they're very strict on the letter of their agreements, not necessarily the spirit if they're lawful new.
That's a fair assessment. Sure.
Right.
He nods and just, as he continues to talk to Charles. It's a shame that our old home has been so gutted. I'd have liked it if we could keep a contingent here for tradition's sake, but the Order of the Nail has queens to serve and law to uphold. As long as you're not opposing those tenets, I say we're fine. And he smirks, and unless you'd like me to take you back to Vraid for judgment.
Well, I had a different proposal.
Yes. Also, I don't know if he's watching this, but I'm really sad that Bolix, the one who fights the Cheide Axe, wasn't here for this part. I'm sorry, I don't know.
It makes him and his bellflower pen easier on our discussions.
Yeah, that's fair.
You say your interest is in a signet ring that belongs to your family, that and that alone?
He nods.
Well, if you wish, we are cleansing this place for the tribe that lives here now.
A tribe of what? I suppose it will be goblins, won't it? No offense. Of course, meant to. Then he looks down at you.
There are goblins
Yes.
and there are goblins. I am of the latter.
Ah, of course, goblins. Makes complete sense to me.
He means not a fool, Goblin.
Mm.
And
Yeah, no, we left that one back at the camp now, didn't we?
You really should not
he,
talk ill of friends that are not here.
I mean, fair, but come now. He fits the description.
just
Yes.
because he decides to try to fly does
He
not
is the
make him
terror
a
that flaps in the
barbarian.
night.
He's the terror that flaps in the night. Dark wing duck. Huh.
Forgive us, that's
It-
a friend of ours.
when you meet him, you understand.
He nods.
He
Now,
means no ill.
If your only interest is in the ring, we can look for it, and you can rest assured we will return it to you if we are able to find it. Or you may join us in clearing and cleansing this place until it is found.
Well, I suppose I have nothing better to do, and if there are more, and he kicks vaguely at like the smudge mark that smells faintly of brimstone where once devil was. If there are more of these here, or worse, it would be good to have you at my back. Of course, I will join you. And Alex Dagram joins the party. I guess I get to play second edition after all, guys. Let me actually see what a halberd does, because his art is carrying a halberd, and his order's favored weapon is a lance or something else, but he's described as carrying a greatsword. Poo-poo on that! Give me a halberd! What am I attacking with? I did it! I
mean,
get to play the
a
game!
halberd is technically a type of polearm, which a lance is also considered to be. So it is in the same general
There's
type
a
of
fine
arm.
line between the giant cylinder that is meant to deliver the weight of a man, his horse, his armor, and everything else into a very fine point, and an axe that can reach farther and be braced against a charge.
So,
I'm a
Page
nerd.
280.
Thank you very much, Jason.
so
It does
the
exist, right? Okay.
So the infernal pentacle that is on the ground, because that is a pentacle, not a pentagram.
It's a
Because there's no
pentagram.
goat
It's
head.
just it is okay, fine. There's no goat head. It's supposed to be oriented with the like it's the unholy symbol of the Prince of Devils.
Yeah. It is drawn with intention for it to be a pentagram, but they did not put the goat in it. Anyway, is that actually? Sorry, my cat is being talkative.
Same.
Is that actually drawn on the ground, or is it carved?
It's doop-a-doo, I'm doing a scroll. It's flagstones painted entirely black. This sprawling and irregularly shaped room contains a circular, sunken area in the middle. The arena's edges are painted deep crimson, and an ominous crimson pentagram fills the center. I
So,
am
paint.
gonna assume it's painted.
It did say paint.
Mhm.
In that case, Gyukduk or Charles, could either one of you use the cleaning magics to remove the paint?
I
Sure.
take it you don't intend to pass the test yourselves, then.
I have
Well-
other concerns rather than pure law. Although order is an admirable concept to uphold, it is not what I am focusing on. My apologies.
Whilst passing the test would be admirable, we are actually trying to make this place safe for its current residents. And having a symbol that is capable of summoning and or containing devils and demons is not something we intend for them to have unless they put it down themselves.
Now, not
And-
demons, devils only. Can you imagine?
Well,
Should start a blood
True.
war.
well,
That's a
I-
3.5 joke.
I don't exactly know the situation on these things. I just know they summon otherworldly beings.
Well,
course,
I mean,
of
it
course.
could be worse. It could be meant to summon Batsow or Tanari.
What?
My
Oh, I know what that means. Yeah, it took me a sec. Of course, yes. If people are living here, we should endeavor to clean it up. Savagery quelled in the land, home, and mind, of course, as you know.
well, actually, they're being quite civil. So savagery, no; civil, yes. But yes, the common folk can't really handle that type of thing, can they?
He chuckles and shakes his head no.
Also, my area of expertise is a little more to the chemical. She'd hold up a bottled lightning.
I see. Prized skills. I never much had the. He taps his. Like, as he puts his helmet back on, he taps it. Never much had the brain power for it, but so it is.
I'd pull out one of the two elixirs of life that I have. Since you're traveling with us here, I only have 2 on me, so you may have one.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Here, anesthesia. Keep yours. I have 4 on me, remember? And I'll offer him one of mine.
Oh, good then.
Here, take
was
this one,
generous.
friend.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it's if you were to help us, it would not be befitting of us to just allow you to die. That'd be very rude, inconvenient, and just mean-spirited.
A little bit, yeah. Well, shall we be off then?
Yes.
Yes. Let
Okay.
us just disrupt
Oh.
this
Oh,
summoning.
I have a minor question.
Okay, sure.
Has the sunburn of Saren Ray's favor faded?
Yeah, it has. It has been replaced with
Disfavor,
the
rather.
residual burn of imp venom. Alec falls in line behind you guys.
Out of character, is he from the adventure path, or did you make him?
He is straight up something to be encountered here, and is able to follow
Aw,
you.
cat.
Hello,
It sounds like the kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Leo. Leo's just coming to say hi again.
Yeah, Leo is
No,
played by
my
both.
cat is ticked off because its eye is kind of inflamed, so I was trying to see what was going on with it.
No.
Leo is played by 2 cats.
Ye-
Well, the floor is yours,
Well-
guys.
So now that I am bleeding profusely, and the cat is, okay.
Welcome to the fun world of cat ownership.
Yeah, I had one for almost 18 years before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Uh,
so cleaned up the pinnacle and we leave.
Okay, sure.
Or a
And-
pentagram. I will call it a pentagram since that's what its intent
Yeah.
is.
Okay. Alec will follow. I wish I could staple his token to someone's token so he would just follow, but I'll move him behind you guys. If you want him to roll things, ask him. He can do so.
I will ask him if he knows of traps or other areas of concern in the building.
Alas, I don't know anything. I know the few rooms I've explored so far. He points in the direction of the secret door. I've never.
Okay.
I'm from Varizia. I haven't had the pristine honor of visiting this ancient relic, and I lack the proper clearance to reference my order's archives, unfortunately.
Oh, Varizia.
It's,
How does my Varizian sound? I'll say in Varizian.
he responds, not bad, could be better. I imagine you're a few thousand years out of practice, also in Varizian. I think.
More so, the language was invented since I returned.
Of course. Practice makes purpose. Purpose and
So,
the purpose in heart and mind, and he just makes fun of his.
As we proceed to the courtyard, speaking to Alex, there should be 2 corpses there, and this area is prone to things not staying down, shall we say?
Hey,
As
something about a Vudrani man and someone who worshipped Norgorber and a elf woman and a grabby stabby rogue, and there was a crown. I heard the story. I watched it on Black Dragon Gaming's YouTube channel, and we're not mad about it at all.
well, I have not heard the story. I just have seen the risen dead.
He nods.
Gentlemen, are we going to check out the door down here?
I think you guys are pretty good at how maps work. It goes to there.
Okay. Then I shall return to the group.
So we go to the courtyard then.
Yes.
Yes.
I see.
Oh, since he was looking for things, before I leave, I do want to give a quick check to this room to see if I can find any.
Okay, yeah. And I see a 25, nothing there.
Of course, I would burn a 25 there.
Of course you would.
We never did check the amphitheater, so I will check here.
Oh, yes. Let's check the amphitheater.
Sorry, you're standing on the number, and I want to make sure I had it right. The Drill Auditorium, of all things. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. You guys go looking around through there. Most of it is useless trash. You spend a few minutes looking around, and there are several crumbled... the insignia itself is like a sunburst made of nails. Cloth insignias of the Order of the Nail. Seemingly lost or discarded. They would be pretty valuable as, like, artifacts, I'll say, for the Order of the Hell Knight who is following you. In addition, there are several, like, cabinets and things on the walls. Within them, there are several loose leather book bindings and leaves of, like, pages thrown all over the place, as looters have gone through this place several times by now. The titles, the remaining bindings reveal that once upon a time they contained information about the Order of the Nail's traditional drills and procedures and things. You guys can find simulations, basically, like snippets of, like, old drills being simulations between quote-unquote lawless bandits, just other guys playing the other side, right? And Order of the Nail trained to fight them. The documents also, there's a lot of stuff here, actually. The document also includes a list of recruits' names, along with, like, indications of those who'd been given temporary order badges, basically, which is a reference to all of, clearly, these discarded insignias on the ground. They would be of a lot of value with anybody with ties to Hell Knights, or actually, he's not dumb. I'm kind of playing him as dumb. You're a fighter. You're really good at perception, it turns out. So, but dome. Are those are temporary insignias of my order. Would anyone be opposed if I take these?
I'd be assisting him by cleansing the dust and dirt of years from them as I pick them up and hand them to him.
I appreciate it.
We do have a bag of holding if you'd require some storage before we continue.
Sure. More than happy to let you carry my new bits of treasure and things. He smiles.
I'll just pick one up, kind of like look it over.
Just remind me when we're heading out. I would grab my familiar and rip open its back zipper and stuff them inside.
Don't see that every day. And actually, on that note, as he says that, he kind of steps back a little bit. And this is around the time everybody realizes the man in matte black plate armor is not the quietest. And he's making a lot of noise as he steps by virtue of the things he's wearing. He turns around and he sees the bodies, several at this point, carrion birds of all shapes and sizes have descended on the two lizard things and have been picking on them. Just what in the
You're breaking up pretty bad.
Sees birds eat things. He turns and what in the nine hells is that?
They were here the last time we came through. We had to retreat for safety, but we killed them.
Right, but what is that?
Not exactly sure. Though it did manage to get one of ours.
Unfortunate. Got no
I
idea.
forget what they were.
Yeah.
We just knew alligator dog things. We didn't actually get a name for them.
Right, because they are behind nature checks.
Though now that we're here, might as well look.
And I think it's Anastasia that gets it. Okie dokie. So just grabbing a whoop-a-da-boo. I love making funny noises. Almost there. Okay,
It is the best part of being a DM, making the funny noises.
Yeah! Can I get an Arcana check as well, please?
From me, I presume?
Anyone who wants to roll it. Okay, so it's...
I failed that pretty horribly.
Charles, as Charles moves in, it becomes really obvious that these things are, like, clearly they're not, and this is the nature checks corroborate this as well. This thing is definitely not something that you would expect to encounter in a temperate climate. It being a giant, like, reptilian type thing probably wouldn't do the best in the winter. And Charles is able to identify, based on like the structure of scales and the way it like vomited halitosis at you guys, there are like very distinct draconic features, and you are able to identify, and you and the natures can definitely both grab what is known as a Growlodon, a draconic creature, a true dragon, native to the jungles of the Mwangi Expanse, which is very south of here.
Well, they should not actually be here, but it's a Grongi. It's a true dragon of sorts.
I studied up on these a bit. They are dragons, by all intents, I say, just kind of like looking at them. Not like fully raw power, big, raw dragons, but they are still considered to be a draconic creature.
And what are they doing here?
That's the question. Wait.
Do we wish to search the rest of these rooms before going into the yard?
We certainly could.
Yes.
May I have that knife, please?
Yes. I'll hand it over.
Right, thank you. And I'm going to give you a crafting check, basically scavenging the body for any useful materials. I'm not actually intending to get loot here. It's just there is a corpse here of something that could be used for alchemical purposes, so it's material components.
Survival would also be useful for rendering the game, and I will assist.
Crafting does identify. I'm not sure exactly mechanically what new system who does. I don't necessarily be like, this is very powerful, have fun with it. But
Well, I'm like I said, I wasn't actually intending on getting anything out of this. It's for inconsequential material components, the things that you don't normally even keep track of.
Sure, makes sense to me. Okay, so yeah, with the crafting check, Annie can identify that most definitely there are bits and baubles that would be useful for alchemy, but then it's a survival check to basically, what's the word I'm looking for? To like dress the carcass and skin it and things. And 11 is more than enough for something that's not resisting you. It's a day dead. The carrion birds are a little upset as I look in the 2nd edition bestiary. Do we have vultures? Giant vultures? Hello, giant vultures. I assume we don't. Nope, the only thing under V is a vampire. And you're even better at it. Well done.
But in that case, I'd just be throw chunks of meat towards them while I'm getting whatever.
Okay, sounds good to me. And they happily yum 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 yum.
How damaged are the hides?
They have been stabbed. They have been, I believe, magic has been done to them. They are workable-ish for crafting, not like true dragon hide would be, but you could probably maybe. Oh, look at that! You are able to pick out the bits and pieces.
If we clean the hides and put them in the bag of holding, I can use mending to repair the small holes and things like that, since it is now a small crafting material. I can do that in the morning.
Good enough.
Just remind me, okay?
Again, not true dragon hide, but could possibly make leather out of it.
And I do have foraging, so
okay,
that should give me slight
before
boost.
Before I stuff it in my familiar, you will have to prestidigitate it. Hello?
Hello.
I already declared I was doing that, sorry.
And
I
it's
didn't
all
hear
clean.
you. So once again, stuffing things into the back of my familiar, who is cussing in fluent Russian.
Alec makes his way over to here, and, well, if we wanted to go down, we would go down here. Apparently, one of our friends didn't get so lucky, and there's clearly a Growlodon claw sticking up from the rubble. Seems like someone's a little too big to take the stairs.
Yes, and I don't think I actually care to take the materials from that one. It's probably been dead a little longer.
As the two of them are talking, Can I take a step back towards the other three members of the party and just kind of mutter, they could have come through the elf gate?
Let's not discuss that in front of our new friend.
I mean, that's why I step back to mutter it. If I need to roll a stealth check so he doesn't hear me, I'll do it.
Make a deception check.
Deception. Okay.
I'm sure the growlodons and the carrion birds arrive bearing.
Hey! That's with a 0 mod, too.
That
Nice.
would beat his perception DC. You're good. Actually, it just barely beats his perception DC. Good enough.
Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. He is too busy preoccupied with the events.
He's talking to Winter.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple of carrion birds get over close. Back you! And they ope out of the way.
So I'll stroll on. So do you know of any other ways down?
I do not.
Well,
Maybe
then
something
I
on the other
would,
wing.
I would suggest we clear the rest of the bottom floor and any upper floors. Perhaps we will find more information.
Good enough for me. Lead the way.
I can't actually tell which way is which.
He
Okay,
goes back up to these stairs. These stairs here take you up to the battlements where Calmont was. Everything else is, it's the only way back, basically.
So it's either up where we up to the battlements or back through this way.
Right, you got it.
Okay.
and unless we want to check the battlements first. I would say we want to check the bottom first.
I personally don't feel like being trapped up there with things coming after us.
I agree with Anastasia.
I mean, would it not be prudent to always clear your six?
He nods. Alec, of course. And he goes following behind you.
Okay. Well, we've been in here. There's a door down here. Let's check this one because it may link up
And it does.
first. Okay.
Right where you thought it would.
To the upper end of the barracks.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that. We have the door where Winter is.
The one where I'm at is where we came out from the roundabout circle last time.
Right.
Yes, but we went through that pretty quick. So let's search and clear it as well.
Right, fair enough.
Would you like to do it from the barracks end, because that way we'll end back up here?
We should do it from the training.
Okay, make it so.
So, going through mess hall.
Moving through all the things you see, everything that you have seen, these rooms are the ones that Jason has X'd are well and truly cleared out.
Yes. And over here to the secret door.
The trap has not reset. There's technically a bloody javelin on the ground if you'd really like it.
Yeah. You know what? It's another thing to toss in the bag if someone clean it.
Sure. One javelin.
I mean, I just grab it and clean it while we're walking along.
And
Yeah,
Well, I mean, prestidigitation instantly cleans things.
right.
and you guys did also find there's a make a perception check in here, actually, if you would. Alec will join the party and do the same. He's such a good helper. Not good enough. So Q-Talk is actually able to clear the room with that 23, basically. So as you go looking around this back room here, what clearly was like a place to keep provisions and things, it's kind of like buried under a bunch of things. But Q-Talk sees there's a bit of a hilt sticking out, and she reaches in and grabs what is very clearly seems to be pristine and workable longsword in a sheath. And as she draws it, the blade...
Cleansing it. Is it magical?
It's not magical. As she draws it, the blade is very clearly a vibrant silver. Alec looks at it and
Longsword or scimitar?
Silver long
Stop asking
sword.
questions.
Thank you, Tiki. Silver longsword. In addition, there is a lockbox that is closed and locked. And I think you found these before, but there are loosely bound but otherwise intact manuscripts that describe the Hellknight test. And a lockbox.
A lockbox.
So, sorry, let him actually finish telling us what's there and, have a pause before you start asking questions.
Spellcraft
Manuscripts in the bag.
Eagerest of beavers. If Josh was here, he'd make an Angry Beavers joke, and I just want to put that out there in spirit.
I would really like to.
Yes, you would. I see. Yeah, you could. It doesn't take much. The lock is really sad, and it open. Inside there is 31 silver pieces. That one definitely doesn't divide by 5 well. And an Arcana check. You find an Arcana check. Make an Arcana check.
Someone else?
So of all the things to find in this chest,
Remember, I've got a constant detect magic going.
Good.
Same here.
I believe it's an at will, not a constant.
It is at will.
Yeah,
It is at will.
You actually have...
So it does have a toggle. In any case, it's a very old, mummified, what appears to be a humanoid hand, and upon closer inspection, Charles continues to kill it. A mummified elf hand hanging from a golden chain, all gnarled and locked in a...
Ah, crap, it's a hand of glory.
Nope, it's a hand of the mage.
Huh.
Hand of Glory, I think, is a different hand.
I just kind of like... What does that do again, my
It
friend?
is, the Arcana checks I've identified, it's worth 30 gold pieces. Its bulk is light. It is invested on your... well, I guess the slots don't matter anymore in 2e. But activate is 2 command and vision, 2 actions, and you can cast Mage Hand. Or you can sell it for 30 gold.
I'll just kind of like reach out, grab it, look at it. Well, while I think the styling of it's pretty tacked, I was never one for using mummified bones of sentient creatures. It is a magical artifact. If one were to spend some time to attune to it, they could use it to cast a spell. And yes, it's worth money. It's worth money, Anastasia. I just put it in. Can you not let me have my fun?
Let the man finish his flavor text. If we want to get on to spell for interrupting me, don't interrupt Ross for being the nerd. Just because there are a lot of, I think all the characters in the party are basically...
To be fair, and I feel like that's less Tiki getting on me and more Anastasia getting on me.
It is. She is literally... one of her dislikes is people wasting her time.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm not for bringing it up. I figured it was Tiki role-playing his character well.
Good enough.
It's like, just put it in the bag and let's go. We have a very large citadel to look through.
Very well.
Okay. Then on we go. A11 to expedite the what the IOPC guys will watch and be like, this is another looting session. Hurrah!
Okay.
Yes?
Okay. I guess I will just go with it because I know there's something we're missing.
Yeah, fair enough. You do. There's a secret door where you're standing that leads outside. Thank you for not metagaming, but yeah, there's a secret door.
I'm trying very hard.
There are no interactive maps for Age of Ashes at this time.
Yeah, if we found that, we probably found the door as well.
Yep.
Because we were searching everywhere.
Secret door leads outside.
Oh. Well, that's good.
the longsword, it was a silver alloy longsword.
Yep, it is a alchemical silver longsword. I assume it's still called
Alchemical.
alchemical silver. It's a. I don't know if there's a difference, so I'm kind of just vomiting terms now. But it's a silver longsword.
It's enough for me to just say alchemical silver. We'll know what it is. It's in the bag.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, loot everything now, split it up later.
Makes sense to me.
I think Tiki's
Yes.
asking if it's alchemical because technically normal silver, similar to gold, is a very soft metal.
Alchemical silver is actually the better version of a longsword because then you get a steel longsword that's acting as silver.
A silver weapon is a. It deals additional damage to creatures with weakness to silver, like werewolves, and ignores the resistances of some other creatures, like devils. It's worth. I'll call it a low-grade silver weapon. Probably it's worth 40 gold plus 4 gold per bulk of a longsword, which is.
Nice.
So I imagine this was something your people would use to help give them the edge in the test. I'll say to Alak when we see the sword.
It's not uncommon to encounter werewolves out in the wilderness. A fine sidearm, as he taps his reach weapon, which no longer is restricted from attacking in the 5-foot square.
I'm just curious, would you in your tests consider using silver weapons and things of that nature as cheap underhand tactics?
No, it's the right
No.
tactic. We send in our individuals, perhaps one day myself, assuming they will defeat the devil. We want to make sure they have all the tools possible.
Very well.
Humanoids,
Besides-
powerful enough to become Hell Knights, in fact, do not grow on trees.
Besides the fact, all is fair in love and war, and it's always a war against hell.
He nods.
You speak with a theory, with almost experience in it, Anastasia.
Peeking out. Have you not listened to me saying Baba all this time? Do you not realize who my grandmother is?
No, I do not. She
Likewise, I
Oh.
have no idea, as that's a
She's
very
kind of.
unique bit of
She
knowledge.
must have
Well, she has-
appeared or whatever in between my people disappearing and returning.
Her reputation precedes her, let us say that.
Indeed.
And the player says, spam perception checks, guys.
There's
Roll
nothing
all
in
the
here.
dice.
The only thing in
Roll
the only thing that
dice.
was in A11 was in the secret door that leads you around to save us a little bit of time poking at things that you have no reason to poke at.
All right, then we're just going to quickly move ourselves to the.
Yeah, back where you started. You can safely complete the lap as I go back and double check to make sure that's accurate. Okay, yeah, there's nothing in there.
So, know where this is. Here. So that leaves us this door here and this door here.
That is accurate.
Left first. True adventurers always go left first.
True adventurers go left into a small room with another door.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because of Link's adventure. You
No.
always needed to go left first.
Fair enough. Okay.
Unless there was that one dungeon that you had to go right first.
This narrow corridor stretches around the octagonal center of the keep and is divided into segments by doors leading through this level of the towers or into interior rooms. Here and there, a few remaining paintings of dour-faced Hell Knights still grace the walls between high, narrow windows that let in limited light. Clearly, these have always been very utilitarian in nature. This is the hallway, and there's not necessarily anything else there.
Looking to Alex, do you want the artwork?
Maybe I'll come back for it later. I played
Okay.
Divinity Original Sin, the first one. I know how heavy art is. Actually, no, it was 2 where art was super heavy.
Art was stupidly heavy in 2, but also if you found the right one, was worth it.
Yeah, and there's
We
a
still
door.
gotta play that.
We do. Tommy will remember this. Door at the other end of the hall? Question mark.
Sure, I will perceive.
Seems fine to you.
Locked or unlocked?
It is unlocked.
Open the.
I am no better.
Door seems fine. Leads you into a small circular area. Since I'm sitting on the dynamic lighting layer right now, assume that Alec is right behind Ohm.
Yes.
And then 2 more doors.
I have actually been trying to shadow him directly, so.
Makes sense.
Let's
I
try
lost
this.
track of where the group was again.
Oh, well, I'm tempted to. Now I'm not going to ask for a survival check. There you go. Oh, where are my
And-
friends? Survival check.
And yeah, that is my perception check for being in the next area.
Got it. Don't find anything that hasn't already been talked about. 2 doors. Which ones would you guys like to open?
I would like to go south because actually I'm feeling bad because I haven't been marking our trail.
Yeah, all of the rooms in the southern bit have been successfully explored now.
Okay. So this matches up.
Yeah, that would take you back to the end of the secret hallway there.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's proceed to the other direction.
Boom, hallway.
Step and
Nothing really. More of those paintings of dour faced Hell Knights, but that's about it.
okay.
Not a whole lot of much in there now.
Out of my square.
I'm sorry, little one. I'm not in your square.
I was talking about.
Get out of there! You hogging squares. I know there's like a red line there, but nothing happens when you step there.
Yeah.
Well, shall we continue on forward or shall we sit here?
I'll move forward because
I promise. I don't know why the red line is there. There's nothing there. It's literally just a red line.
It was kind of ominous, but we'd already failed our check, so we had to pass it anyway.
That's
Yeah.
fair. All right, if everyone could make a read. No, I'm kidding. No saves. I don't know why there's a line.
I
truly have no
made
idea.
my perception check at 17.
And you notice a red line that's been put there as a red herring. Red herring lines.
So
Yeah.
it was not magical or anything?
No, nothing at all. It's literally just something to... It's the gazebo. Do you want to attack it? We don't attack... The Order of the Nail is... we are called that
No,
because
no.
we use nails to build gazebos. Attacking gazebos is anathema to us at all times.
No, but if it were a Davenport, it would be a story.
Okay, there's a door at the end which leads to the base of another one of those towers.
okay. We shall listen at the door and check for traps.
Don't hear or see anything.
We shall. Oh, and just because I haven't restated it, I have one. No, I've changed from having a goblin slicer out to a sling with a stone loaded,
So not a dog slicer then. This is the...
not a dog slicer.
Gotcha. The goblin slicer is what we called the longswords at first edition.
Yeah,
Anyway, the door is definitely safe. You don't hear anything.
I've got a
Okay.
produce flame fireball in one hand.
open.
Okay.
I don't want you to lose spells.
Yeah, and on that note, I want to
Produce
see...
flame is a cantrip.
Produce flame is a cantrip that I think you can't sustain. I could be wrong.
Actually, you can.
Oh, neato. I stand corrected, and door goes boom. And there's another tower. There are 2 doors.
Yay.
Well, excuse me. In the in last edition, it was listed as a ball of fire that you could hold in your hand until you wanted to expend it. In which case, it expended it once.
Right.
But I will double check this iteration if
Yeah.
someone would keep my token with the rest.
I got it here. For 2 actions, somatic and verbal, range 30 feet, targets one creature. A small ball of flame appears in the palm of your hand, and you lash out. with either melee or range. Make a spell attack roll against your target's AC. Normally a ranged attack that can be used as a melee attack in your unarmed reach. On a success, you deal 1d4 fire damage plus your spellcasting ability mod. So there is no, you don't hold it anymore. Produce flame is just fire.
Oh, so it's just a Mario fireball this time. It used to be you can hold it in your hand.
And it was like a second level spell, though, I think. First or second.
No,
it
it
was
was
still a
a
cantrip.
cantrip last time.
It was 1 minute per level.
Okay, so 2 doors. 1 door.
Okay.
2 door.
And nothing in there.
They
It was
do
not a minute per.
They don't seem to be
It's not a
trapped or
minute.
anything, no.
Okay.
It was not a minute per level. It was 10 minutes. Flat.
Then I will open the door next to me.
And it leads to basically where the ruin stairs are, and you could maybe possibly jump into another tower there, but it would take some feats of athletics, if you will.
Okay.
If that's an athletics thing, then what is acrobatics used for now? Because that used to be an acrobat.
Acrobatics. Aerobatics. Doing a scroll. Do the skills part of the book. There's nothing. The stairs came down there because a Growlodon tried to go up and it took the stairs out. Skill descriptions. Acrobatics. Acrobatics is used to balance, tumble through, maneuver in flight, squeeze, and right now that's everything. Athletics is used to climb. I actually had a similar, I won't say issue, but I ran into the same when I realized it was an athletics to jump with my Dex Rogue Monk in the playtest.
To be fair,
Um,
makes sense in my opinion.
You can tumble through using a climb, swim, or fly, or another action instead of stride.
Right, using a climb, fly, swim, or another action, set a stride in place or in the appropriate environment. So if you are using a climb speed, a fly speed, or a swim speed, you still must,
That's what that means.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
So you said nothing in here
Right,
except a maybe we can jump across to
to there.
the next tower. So let's go in here.
Righty.
Backtrack.
How tough of a jump would that be?
However many squares it is to land on a square that's not rubble. So like here, then you would have to try to like balance to not fall, basically. Or very clearly, you guys could just walk around and then like go around the rest of the octagon and then get there.
I mean, part of me was just thinking if it's not that bad, I could just jump in and see what was on the other side, but...
Okay. So we want to keep
wait.
the door open.
Yeah, I'm going to perceive.
Okay. You don't really hear anything.
Okay. Open.
Alrighty, and perception checks. This will be I do have plans like at 8 pretty much, so I can't run super late tonight, but I will give you the flavor text for here real quick, and then we'll pick up this room when we'll go next time. This wrecked room holds toppled shelves and filing cabinets. Its southwestern wall has entirely collapsed, revealing the verdant weeds and undergrowth outside. I will give you a little more with the perception checks. Most of this room, because it's exposed pretty much entirely to the elements, most of the room is covered in moss and vines and even like snarls of what are very clearly like wild blackberries. Along the southeastern wall looks hard to tell. It might be like a mound of meat, a mound of dirt, something like that. It's hard to say. But as you guys open that door, I gotta get back to the token lair. I'm gonna try to make everybody go into a square. Alec is right behind Ohm. Oh, I guess I'll need to put him now on the thumbnails as well, won't I? To the die, the GN lair, scurrying out. And this is why I wanted to knock off even though it's like 60 seconds early. I'll note the initiative. Fair enough. It's a 6. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4.
I was actually trying to roll perception again, but okay.
4 big ol' rats come scurrying out in your direction. I guess really quickly we could just grab initiative and then call it. That doesn't sound like the worst idea in the world.
Okay.
Boom.
I have 6 initiative.
and 6, and we got an 18 from home. And since we're all using the sheet, it puts it in for us, and that's one of the reasons I really wanted to do this.
I'll get my
D20.
spells on the list. My
Please,
apologies
yes.
about that.
That is homework for the spellcasters. If everybody could get that done between here and there, that would
course.
be the dopest. And 4d20, and also perhaps maybe here comes scurrying bullocks. We'll worry about that at a later time, though. So you have a turn for you. I had to count that number, and then you add turn at count a much higher number. Good. And
Darkwing Goblin.
Darkwing Goblin. Huh. Let's fight giant rats. He turns the corner, and you guys roll.
I was gonna say, let's get airborne.
Let's get aerial. And goes fighting merfolk. I think it will be hilarious to see how our friend reacts when he turns the corner and sees you all are associating with the Hell Knight. But I have a date tonight, so I can't run super late. I'm very sorry that the early parts of this episode weren't picking up desktop audio. Maybe I'll go back and pantomime the actions. I don't think we didn't really miss a whole lot of anything, basically. But again, thank you to my patrons for helping out support. And Ross, thank you for support on Patreon. I'd fist bump you, but you're in the Carolinas and I'm in Kansas City. It's a hell of a reach. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you in actually, we're off next week. I'll say that live now. I will be out of town over Labor Day weekend, so we'll be back at it in the week after, but there's a couple of back sessions. Soon is what I mean. Say bye, guys.
Bye.